Here is Brady Quinn looking. Pump fakes. He rolls to the near side. Throws it. It's caught by Samardzija. Inside the 20. Inside the 10. He's going in. Notre Dame has scored.
The funny thing about that video, though, if you watch it, after Jeff scored his touchdown, the first person to greet Jeff was a good friend of mine by the name of Pat Kuntz. Pat Kuntz is a defensive tackle, mind you. He was the first guy on the field to greet him.
Aerial view of Notre Dame Stadium and the campus of the University of Notre Dame as our Vonage Notre Dame countdown to kickoff continues. The fall colors very much in evidence on this beautiful campus, the Golden Dome in the background. And earlier, as the players went from mass to the stadium, quarterback Brady Quinn interacting with the fans. He says this walk to the stadium with all the fans gives him goosebumps. And a sellout at Notre Dame Stadium as the UCLA Bruins come to call. Only the third meeting in history between these two teams, UCLA and Notre Dame. And here come the Irish. Brady Quinn with a moment. Coach Charlie Weiss. Quinn has a chance today to go over 10,000 yards passing, a rare feat in college football. He's only 30 yards shy. And Coach Weiss facing UCLA for the first time. As we said, these two teams have played only 3 times in history, and it's been 42 years since the last one. And from the Pac-10, here are the UCLA Bruins making their appearance at Notre Dame Stadium. Coach Carl Durrell and his young Bruin team for the first time in 42 years on the sod at Notre Dame Stadium. And the Vonage Notre Dame countdown to kickoff will continue in 30 seconds. From Notre Dame Stadium, you're watching the Vonage Notre Dame countdown to kickoff. And it is a pleasant afternoon, as we said, in South Bend. Cloudy skies, but the temperature in the mid-50s. There's a chance of rain, but Coach Charlie Weiss, who's always on top of everything, including the weather, said it should come after the game is over. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Notre Dame Stadium. And Tom Hammond, Pat Hayden here for the game between the Bruins and the Irish. And as we said, Coach Weiss always on top of everything. And he's thought about coming off a bye week. Coach Weiss had last week off along with his Notre Dame team. And he said he's taken extraordinary measures, he wouldn't tell us what, to prevent a letdown today as the Irish take the field against the Bruins. And 8th in the first BCS poll, which came out last week. And Coach Weiss happy, too, that his offense is playing well.
Well, you know, he's got a lot of offensive stars, but none burning brighter than that of the quarterback, Brady Quinn. How about the last 2 weeks, completing 3 of every 4 passes, protecting the football, not throwing interceptions, managing the game well, which we talk a lot about, Tom. But how about, I think Darius Walker is the unsung hero of this 5-1 Irish team. Can, you know, move the chains as a receiver, as a runner. You know, today he celebrates his 21st birthday, and, you know, Charlie Weiss was saying to us just the other day that, you know, a guy like him, we would like to have him touch the ball 25 times, whether it's as a receiver or as a runner.
UCLA Bruins come in at 4-2. Their coach Karl Dorrell making his first trip into Notre Dame Stadium. He said he does appreciate the history and tradition of Notre Dame football. He brings in a defense ranked 9th in the nation in total defense. It's on offense they've struggled.
Well, you know, they lost starting quarterback Ben Olsen a couple of weeks ago, so Pat Cowan steps in, and he stepped in 2 weeks ago against Arizona, played pretty well, but he gets a second career start today against Irish in hostile territory, got whacked in the throat last week and didn't really talk until Thursday of this week. But there's some things to really like, I think, about Pat Cowan. He's good on the run, mobile in the pocket. He is a big old athlete, strong, and a very accurate arm. But, of course, he's going to have to play well, Tom. But you mentioned the defense. This year's UCLA's fort is on defense. It's 9th in the NCAA in total defense. They've created 16 turnovers. 2 of them by the freshman Alteron. They held 4 of their 6 opponents to less than 60 yards rushing. That is phenomenal run defense. And that leads to a lot of third and longs. And see what they've done. They're second in the NCAA and third down defense. So they've done a lot of things well. But Justin Hickman, 7.5 sacks in these 6 games. He has 11 other tackles for losses. So their defensive ends put a lot of pressure on the quarterback. And it's one thing that Notre Dame's had some trouble with, protecting Brady Quinn. So I think how they played defensively early in this game is critical for UCLA.
All right, Notre Dame and UCLA as the Bruins play Notre Dame for the first time since 1964. You've been watching the Vonage Notre Dame Countdown to Kickoff. Back after these messages from your local NBC station. Welcome back to Notre Dame Stadium, UCLA and Notre Dame. Notre Dame football presented to you by Sirius Satellite Radio. They played only twice previously, the last time in 1964. The Irish won both previous meetings. And today's game is brought to you in high definition. And a coaching matchup between 2 coaches who have returned to their alma mater to direct the football program, Karl Dorrell and Charlie Weis. Justin Medlock has it teed up as Coach Weis will send his offense onto the field first. UCLA won the toss and deferred to the second half. So there's Medlock set to kick it off. West and Grimes, the deep men for Notre Dame. A squib kick by Medlock. Bouncing around and finally picked up by David Grimes. And Grimes runs over the tackler, but is taken down by Werner on special teams. And so Brady Quinn needing 30 yards now to exceed 10,000 in his career. The all-time Notre Dame leader. He holds 30 Notre Dame passing records. As we look at our starting lineups, brought to you by Adidas. With Walker, McConnell, McKnight, Samardzija, and Carlson. And up front, Harris, Santucci, Sullivan, Morton, and Sam Young, the freshman who might have his hands full with some talented pass rushers of the Bruins today. On first down, Quinn swings the pass to Walker out of the backfield. Darius Walker makes a cut up and gets just about 10 yards on the first play from scrimmage. Walker, the leading receiver this season for the Irish. Tackle was made by Chris Horton. And here are the starting lineups. Brought to you by Adidas. For the Bruins, we mentioned Hickman and Davis, the defensive ends. Really quick upfield. Hickman has 7.5 sacks. Davis 4.5. Whittington, Taylor, and Carter, the linebackers. Brown, Horton, Keys, and Van in the secondary. Walker.
Here's a
fumble. And recovered by UCLA, it appears.
Well, we said at the very top, UCLA has to have a good first defensive series because Notre Dame really kind of tries to bury people in the first 2 or 3 drives. So a great stop and the forced turnover by UCLA.
And Whittington limps off the field after he recovered the fumble.
Yeah, and you know, Tom, he was hurt the prior play. Whittington was hurt the prior play but stayed in the game. And then I got a piece of the fumble caused, and then the recovery.
It was Horton that put his helmet right on the football, and Whittington recovered. So a turnover from Darius Walker, who rarely fumbles the football. Flag down, stopped the play before it got started.
You know, you're right, Tom. That is the first fumble loss by Darius Walker in, 405 touches. So he does not turn the ball over much.
Offside call against Notre Dame. Today's officiating crew from the Pac-10, headed by that man, the referee Larry Farina.
Offside. Defense, number 95. 5-yard penalty, replay, first down.
So shaky start for the Irish. Coach Charlie Weiss saying it's normal after a bye week to have a letdown. I've taken extraordinary measures to try to prevent that. We'll see if they work. He wouldn't tell us what those measures were, but so far, a turnover and then a penalty and not a good start.
Yeah, but that was just a really good defensive play by Chris Horton causing the fumble.
1st and 5. Patrick Cowan under center for the Bruins. Will put it in the air. And overshoots his intended receiver downfield. It was William Snead. Let's take a look at the numbers for Patrick Cowan, getting his second start today. A tough week against Oregon, a good team last week in his first career start. Our Adidas starting lineups offensively for the Bruins. Marquis, Petrie, Everett, Brazil, and Paulson, the tight end. And you see the offensive lineman who will try to keep Cowan from feeling the pressure today. Second down, short drop. A slant is complete. Caught by Marcus Everett for a UCLA first down.
So, you know, we've seen a little bit of Pat Cowan the last couple of weeks. He is very, very accurate for protecting.
Adidas starting lineups for the Notre Dame D. Abby Amiri, Laws, Landry, and Fromm. You remember Ronald Talley in the bye week quitting the Notre Dame team. He had been a sometime starter. Brockington has earned a starting berth with his play in recent weeks. So has Lambert, and Zibikowski comes back after missing a couple of games with injury. Hand off to Marquis. Draws a crowd of blue shirts after a short gain. Laws and Brockington the first to hit him.
We just said first fumble and 405 touches for Darius Walker. We were talking to him actually yesterday about really kind of protecting the football. They spent a lot of time on ball security, but it really wasn't necessarily a mishandled or sloppy run. It was just a good tackle by Chris Horton, who got a helmet on the ball.
Put a helmet right on the football, and though he was carrying it high and tight, as his coaches implore him to do, Horton knocked it free. Here's Khalil Bell, the lone setback. Fake it to him. And Cowan throws it behind his intended receiver, the fullback Petrie.
The UCLA defense, we talked about, hey, if they're going to win this game, this defense has to play well. They came into this game forcing 16 turnovers before the one with the fumble by Darius Walker, and they scored actually 52 points off those turnovers.
So a big third down here for the Bruins, trying to take advantage of the turnover. 5 defensive backs for Notre Dame: Richardson, Lambert, and Dukwe, Zibikowski, and Wooden. 3 wide receiver formation. Cowan lays it up for Taylor, and incomplete. No flags. Lambert defending.
Yeah, a lot of bumping and grinding going on there, wasn't there, Tom?
Yeah,
but Terrell Lambert,
looking to see if there might be a flag, but there were no flags.
I think once Terrell Lambert, the defensive back, turns his head, we've seen it so many times, they're not going to call it. Yeah, I think it's a good no call.
So one of the best field goal kickers in America will attempt a 42-yarder. Justin Medlock, who has hit 14 in a row. He missed his first of the season, has not missed since. Flag stopped the play before the kick. Might be a false start against the Bruins, would put it back to 47-yard range.
I'll tell you, if UCLA can keep this game close, and they had a good first defensive series, boy, I tell you, Justin Medlock is a lock, if you will, at the end of the game.
Abby Amiri jumped. Was he drawn off or not?
False start. Number 73, offense. 5-yard penalty. Still fourth down.
So the penalty is a false start against Mika Kia, the freshman right tackle for the Bruins. And it will be a 47-yard attempt by Medlock.
He's had 6 career field goals over 50 yards.
As long as this season, 51. He's a career 75% on his field goals.
Really astounding.
And the left footer will boot it from 47 yards to try to give the Bruins the lead. It is up, and it is no good. Well, you talked about Darius Walker never fumbling. He fumbled. You talk about Medlock being the best in the business. He misses from 47 yards.
All on me, isn't it, Tom?
Bruins unable to take advantage of the Notre Dame turnover. Justin Medlock missing a field goal from 47 yards all alone on the UCLA sideline. Aaron Whittington injured after he recovered the fumble on the last series, but had his ankle taped and is back on the field. First down for Notre Dame from their own 29-yard line. Brady Quinn fakes, fires, batted down, incomplete.
Well, it was Brigham Harwell, number 93, who got his hands up. Good outside rush by Justin Hickman. These guys really, he's right in here, and here's Hickman too. Watch those two guys come in. Very quick off the ball. Hickman has just been unbelievable on the outside as a pass rusher.
Coach Charlie Weiss saying UCLA with excellent outside speed in rushing the passer. Darius Walker gets only a yard before he is slammed down by Christian Taylor, the middle linebacker for the Bruins.
You know, this is where the Bruins have really been good this year on third down defense, number 2 in the country. And you know, you stop the first and second down runs, you force those third and longs, and that's why they are number 2 in the country. Teams already converted, I think, at what, 23%? There it is, 23%.
And of course, Notre Dame struggled with third down conversions earlier, and they've been much better since Charlie Weiss made it a point of emphasis over the last few weeks. Getting more yardage first and second down makes it easier on third, of course, and here they're facing that third and long you mentioned.
Yeah, here's one of the other defensive ends, Bruce Davis. They're the part of that real good defensive end team.
Quinn, given time, finds his receiver, but short of the first down. David Grimes twisted to the turf. A good sure tackle that time by the UCLA defense, which was a problem for them in their loss against Oregon last week.
You're right, Tom. They missed, what, 33 tackles? It was counted against Oregon, but a sure tackle by Alteron Werner. The freshman has really had a dramatic start for the Bruins in his first 6 games.
Werner has had 2 interception returns for touchdowns. He won't even be 18 until next month. We saw the punter, Jeff Price. And Graves is the deep man for UCLA. Price had a tremendous year, and he gets it to a fair catch taken by Graves at around the UCLA 20, a 45-yard punt. So Brady Quinn, a turnover, and then 3 and out. Rough start for Notre Dame. Back at Notre Dame Stadium, scoreless first quarter. Pat, you said the UCLA defense must play well early to give the Bruins a chance. They have done just that.
Yeah, forced a turnover and then a 3 and out, so I'd say that's excellent defense.
And so the Bruins take over with their offense again. Marquis carrying tacklers with him across the 25 to the 26-yard line.
Well, it's early in the game, Tom, but we thought that UCLA's defense had to start well. Boy, they have. How about the opening drive, the forced turnover, then the recovery by Winningham, and then a tip pass, and then a sure tackle. You mentioned they tackled poorly against Oregon. Terrific tackle there by Werner that forced the punt. So 2 defensive series by Paul Dural's defense have played very, very well.
And 8 yards on that. First down carry by Marquis. Cowan hit as he releases, but has his man on the slant. Junior Taylor catches it for a Bruin first down, tackled by Lambert after a gain of 8.
You know, I think it's the hardest thing, you know, for a quarterback is to hang in the pocket, knowing you're going to take a shot and then deliver the ball accurately. Now, Pat Cowan hasn't played a lot, but I'm telling you, his teammates believe in this guy. We talked to 4 or 5 Bruin players this week. They think Pat Cowan is just oozing leadership and can be a very good player.
We mentioned last week, hit in the throat at Oregon, lost his voice before the game was over, and just got it back this week. He makes a play-action fake and goes up top and overshoots his intended receiver, Matt Willis. And for more on Pat Cowan, let's go down to Lewis.
Yeah, Tom, I talked to Carl Durrell before the game about Pat Cowan's voice, and he said that they tried to keep him quiet in practice on Monday and Tuesday. Wednesday, they began to let him bark out some calls, and then Thursday was a full go for him. Today, they do have some silent counts that they can use, but you got to remember at Notre Dame Stadium, especially down on this end of the field with the student section, it's awfully loud. If he has to check a play, he'll have to use all of the throat that he has. Tom?
All right, Lewis, ever lose your voice?
Not by a shot to the throat. And actually, this week the center, Robert Chai, was calling plays.
Khalil Bell on the carry for the Bruins, and another good gain Maurice Crum makes the Notre Dame tackle.
You know, you talk, well, this is why he wasn't able to speak till Thursday. Watch the shot that Pat Cowens takes last week against Oregon. Right to the throat. And they said at the last drive, his voice was just a whisper. And as Lewis just reported, really couldn't do much all week. They had plan A, plan B, and plan C for communications this week if he didn't get his voice back. But it was back by Thursday, and they said he was fine this morning.
Cowan actually born in Canada in British Columbia. Third down. And fighting forward for yardage, Khalil Bell with Joe Brockington, the senior linebacker for the Irish, latching on to him. It'll be close to first down yardage. Looks like they'll mark it just short.
I'll tell you one thing I've seen from UCLA's offensive play calling early in this game has been much more aggressive.
Go for it here on fourth down?
I think so, absolutely. Good big offensive line, over 200-pound back.
So UCLA fourth down, less than a yard to go. Play clock at 10.
Well, they're going to have to use a timeout. If they're going to go over, they're going to have to use a timeout.
And they do. Timeout UCLA, pondering a fourth and less than a yard here in the first quarter at Notre Dame. 7 minutes, 48 seconds showing on the clock in a scoreless first. Fourth down for the Bruins when we return. No score first quarter, Notre Dame Stadium, and UCLA in its own territory, 49-yard line or 45-yard line, going for it on fourth and less than a yard. Cowan keeps and didn't make it, I don't think.
No, he lost yardage.
They essentially emptied the backfield, and everybody knew what was coming.
And you know, Trevor Laws and Derek Landry, the inside tackle, so quick off the ball, absolutely nowhere for Pat Cowan to go. Yeah, I think it was Derek Landry in particular.
They stuffed Chai in the center, and Cowan just ran into a wall. So aggressive play calling, they go for it, do not make it, and turn the ball over to the Irish.
You know, Tom, they've been criticized for not being aggressive in their play calling this year. I still think it's the right call. You know, a half a yard to go on the road playing a top 10 team. I think you give yourself a chance to keep the ball.
Now they'll call on that stout defense to try to hold Notre Dame. They begin at the UCLA 44-yard line. Fake. Quinn going deep. McKnight can't quite get it. He was behind Rodney Van as Quinn faked to Walker, faked the end around, and then went deep to McKnight.
Yeah, don't they look like they've had a week off, though?
Yeah.
You know, here's McKnight down here. And again, after the double fake, he was wide open by 5 yards. But they fumbled on their first series. This is an easy touchdown that Brady Quinn, you don't see him miss this. I haven't seen him miss a pass like this in 4 years. Missed that one.
McKnight stretching out. Incomplete. Second down and 10.
Now, sometimes, coaches like to keep playing when their teams are hot and not have a week off.
Freeman, the motion man, give it to Walker, and Darius inside the 40-yard line.
Walker is across the 40.
So the first two drives for Notre Dame, resulting in a Darius Walker fumble, and then 3 and out.
And you know, one of the hallmarks of Charlie Weiss's team is while he's been here at Notre Dame is getting off to those fast starts. You know, last year 12 games, they scored 8 touchdowns on opening drives, and their last 2 games against Purdue and Stanford scored a touchdown on the opening drive. And that's why I say you have to survive the early part of the game against Notre Dame, particularly here, to make a push in the fourth quarter.
Third down and 5 from the shotgun formation. Brady Quinn. And that'll be a false start against the Irish. It was Paul Duncan, the backup right tackle. He comes in to spell the freshman Sam Young at times.
Well, a fumble and this touchdown pass.
They're going to call it against UCLA. That's an offside against the Bruins.
I don't know how that is.
I don't either.
Yeah, the right tackle absolutely moves. Duncan, watch number 72 right here.
No contact.
Offside. Defense.
Absolutely no contact.
Number 17. 5-yard penalty. Yardage results in a first down.
Justin Hickman talked to us about this.
It shouldn't be enough for a first down either, is it? Is it just short?
It was third in
it's just
6, yeah.
just short of the first down.
They haven't moved the change yet.
And I don't see how that was a penalty against UCLA.
It wasn't a penalty, and it certainly shouldn't have been a first down.
And it is not. Third down and less than a yard. Irish getting a break. Walker plowing ahead, close to the first down marker as they unstack them. Looks like they're going to spot it just short if that linesman is going to use his foot to mark the spot.
We know Charlie Weiss likes to go for it on fourth down, right? He's been awfully good this season with fourth down, as a matter of fact. 10 of 13. Good defensive line play.
We're going to measure to see if Walker picked up the first. It appears to be just short, but there'll be no hesitation from Coach Weiss in going for it, I wouldn't imagine.
Good play by Justin Hickman, kind of known as a pass rusher. Good short yardage play by the defensive end.
Short of the first down, fourth down, about a foot. So Coach Weiss gives Brady Quinn the call. He's been excellent, of course, on quarterback sneaks, although we saw the stop of Patrick Cowan on a sneak in about the same situation a moment ago. There's the number for fourth down conversions, 10 of 13.
Brady been at 4 of 4 on quarterback sneaks on fourth down.
He's going to throw it. Fake to Walker, fires across the middle, caught for the tight end Carlson. Inside the 10, first and goal Notre Dame as he beat Dennis Keys for 24 yards. A quarterback's best friend, the tight end.
A big old tight end, they can get deep, but I tell you, Dennis Keys had him pretty well covered. Now he's right over here, and I tell you, Brady Quinn was expecting to come wide open, but a pretty good catch by the tight end Carlson. And remember, it was a 4th and 1 play against Michigan State that they called for a big gain as well, as part of their remarkable comeback.
So first and goal for the Irish, just inside the UCLA 10. First quarter, 5.5 minutes, no score. Walker, delayed handoff, powering ahead to the 1-yard line. Stopped by Horton just short of the goal line.
Darius Walker runs a lot of draws for Charlie Weiss. He calls a lot of draw plays for him because it's really good vision, lets things develop, doesn't rush things, throws screens to him, and then runs draws. This is at least the second draw he's run today.
He has such good vision, it seems like a draw would be the perfect play for him, too. And so Brady Quinn, with that last pass to Carlson, has reached the 10,000-yard mark. The 32nd quarterback in major college football to achieve that mark. Walker, nice tackle in the backfield, made by Christian Taylor.
Christian Taylor playing with a bum ankle, the middle linebacker for UCLA. What a tackle that was, and he was really disgusted with the way he played against Oregon. Talked to Christian Taylor this week. He said, on Wednesday he was ready to play. So, he said, we're really looking forward to playing a high-powered offense like Notre Dame the way we played against Oregon last week.
In the red zone, this is where Charlie Weiss says you have to score TDs. He said, don't be misled by those percentages. TDs are what you want. And they've done a good job of that. Fake to Walker. Quinn. Rifles. Samardzija. Touchdown.
Tom, one of the reasons they're so good inside the 20 is you can throw it almost anywhere to these big, tall, and athletic wide receivers. And Jeff Samardzija at 6'5", his 6th touchdown catch of the year, his 21st over the past 2 years. And we talked about that strike zone being so large when you have a guy like Samardzija jumping up and catching it.
And Carl Joya adds the extra point. Jeff Samardzija with a touchdown catch from Brady Quinn. Quinn's 17th touchdown pass of the season. Touchdown Jesus, one of the trademarks of Notre Dame football on the University of Notre Dame campus as the Irish take on UCLA. Today's game brought to you by Sirius Satellite Radio. Ryan Brian Burkhart will kick it off for the Irish. And McGee and Werner, the deep men for UCLA. Pretty good special teams coverage by the Irish as Bell brings it across the 20-yard line and stop there.
Hey, Tom, let's look at Notre Dame's last scoring drive. How about the 4th and 1 play? For the second time this year, they've gone downtown to their tight end, John Carlson, on 4th and 1. And then the nice little inside run on the draw play by Darius Walker, using that terrific vision he has. And then you throw it to your big 6'5" wide receiver in the corner, right underneath the goalpost for the touch.
And there they are, the touchdown twins. Quinn passing 10,000 career yards passing, and Samardzija with the touchdown catch, his 21st, just one shy of Derek Mays for #1 all-time at Notre Dame. Cowan's trying to get a deep one, throws it down, and it is picked off by Lambert. Lambert's 3rd interception of the season.
Yeah, Terrell Lambert got the starting nod again today. It's the 2nd game in a row. He started the season as their nickelback, kind of preserved their BCS hopes with 2 interceptions against Michigan State. And you can't play the deep ball any better than Terrell Lambert did right there.
Played. Took it away from Everett, and the Irish have the turnover on the Lambert interception. 3:28 to go in the first. Irish leading the Bruins 7-0. Aerial view of Notre Dame Stadium, and today's aerial coverage brought to you by Goodyear Tires, featuring triple tread technology with 3 separate tread zones for peace of mind in any weather. Tom Hammond, Pat Hayden, Lewis Johnson. Terrell Lambert just picking off a pass for the 3rd time this season.
What a year he's had. Really, as I said, preserved. If they get to a BCS bowl, he's the guy that preserved that opportunity.
Quinn hangs it up for McKnight, but behind him and incomplete as Rodney Van was running right with him.
You know, Tom, the other thing about Terrell Lambert, I don't know if you remember Charlie Weiss talked to us, really last year, saying when he first got here, he was afraid to put Terrell Lambert even on the field. And, he just worked hard, and he started this year in their nickel package, played, most of the game against Georgia Tech as a nickelback, but deserved more and more and more playing time, and it starts the last 2 games.
Yeah, has steadily earned the trust of Coach Weiss, the Californian, with the interception against UCLA. Hit hard is Darius Walker for a loss of a yard. That was a Reggie Carter that stuck him right behind the line of scrimmage.
Well, new defensive coordinator Dwayne Walker has these guys playing. Now, they had a bad first quarter against Oregon last year, right? Or last week. But boy, they are tough. But for that 1 quarter, they have been very difficult to run against.
Well, that Notre Dame touchdown drive aided by a questionable penalty call for offside against the Bruins when there didn't appear to be any contact or unabated to the quarterback.
And again, another 3rd and long for Brady Quinn. Hickman right up here.
Play action fake, and Quinn under pressure goes down in short hops.
That was Justin Hickman. He actually got a piece of Brady Quinn.
Walker and Taylor with a little jawing over there. Taylor was covering Walker. The pass short hopped him.
Taylor was jawing on Wednesday. Trust me. But watch Justin Hickman. He keeps coming. Just kind of bull rushes in Tucci and just gets a piece of Brady Quinn so he can't step into throw.
So the UCLA defense with another good series, and Jeff Price on for his 2nd punt.
Yeah,
Graves is deep.
As I say, UCLA's defense a year ago was 116th in rushing yards allowed. Much different tenor than this Bruin defense.
Price sails it toward Graves. No fair catch this time. He fields it at the 14. Flags are down as he is surrounded by the special teams members, and John Carlson, the tight end, wraps him up for the tackle. 7 yards on the return after the punt covered 39.
John Carlson catches the ball on 4th and 1, then runs down on a punt. A lot of the first teamers playing special teams for Charlie Weiss.
And Carlson, a real success story. Is unknown perhaps throughout penalty against the Bruins. Unknown throughout much of college football, but as Coach Weiss said, has put him in position to be drafted in the first day by an NFL team.
During the return, holding off our return team, number 30. 10-yard penalty, first down.
Carlson will have a decision to make at the end of the season whether to come back for another year of eligibility or declare for the draft. Derek Williams called for the penalty.
Move the ball back to the 13.
So first down for UCLA with 2:13 showing on the clock in the first quarter. Carlson made that special teams tackle, and then the step off against the Bruins will set them back even further. It'll be their ball at the 13 when we come back to Notre Dame Stadium. Beautiful time of the year on the campus of the University of Notre Dame with the fall foliage. And in case you missed it today, we want to invite you to visit NBCSports.com a half hour before every NBC Notre Dame telecast for the Vonage Notre Dame Countdown to Kickoff. Everything you want to know about the upcoming game at NBCSports.com. Paul Hornung, the Golden Boy, was on the show with Paula today. And
I believe it's 50 years since he won his Heisman Trophy.
Honored before the game. His picture on the cover of the game program today as the Irish get Chris Marquis carrying tacklers Thomas and Brockington with him for a gain of 10.
Chris Marquis, the ball carrier.
A nice run by Chris Marquis on that time, but they missed some opportunities. You know, the missed field goal, then they got stopped on the 4th down in inches, and the interception. Carl Durrell said to us yesterday, you know, we have to be a lot more aggressive. The play calling's been more aggressive. They've thrown more balls downfield, but now they just got to make something happen. They only had 2 receptions over 25 yards this year.
And Marquis dances around and gets a couple of tough yards.
I just think it's so hard to be methodical in college football today, Tom. You know, you need to have some receivers or backs that can go 40, 50, 60 yards. Carl Durrell did that when he was a receiver. But they just haven't caught a lot of long passes. The long catch by Brazil of 25 yards, that's the longest reception by a wide receiver. Their tight end, Logan Paulson, has caught one for 46, but that makes it hard on offense if you've got to drive 70, 80 yards every time to get the ball in the end zone.
And you have to make the defense respect that threat as well.
And they've thrown it up, you know, 4 times today, just haven't completed one.
Taylor latches onto that one, short of the first down. Gain of 7.
Junior Taylor, a good story, blew out his knee last year against Oklahoma, and you know, had a cadaver's tendon replaced or put into his knee, and worked very, very hard this offseason. Got up every day in the summer at 5 o'clock to work out. Had a nice start to his season.
Came into the game ranking 17th all-time at UCLA with 91 career receptions. The former Mesa, Arizona high school All-American.
Tom, you know, the UCLA defense has played well thus far in the first quarter. This is an important 3rd down for the UCLA offense to convert.
Cowan's pass caught. Is it a first down? That'll be the question. Andrew Baumgartner, only his 4th reception of the season, and it appears to be enough for the Bruin first down.
I like Pat Cowan on the move. Against, you know, he came in against Arizona when Ben Olsen was hurt, completed 20 of 29. The very first play that he was in, they called a pass. He completed it. He was 3 for 3 on his opening drive, and, you know, against Arizona, really good in the move.
There's Pat Cowan, sophomore from Pico Rivera. Running play, Marquis. Short of the 40-yard line. Trying to make that first down mark. Today's 1st and 10 line brought to you by Xerox.
Chris Marquis, I think, is a pretty effective player. He didn't necessarily dazzle you, Tom, but a little bit like Darius Walker, kind of a chain mover, good receiver, good runner, good solid runner inside, zone blocking scheme, good pass protector.
There are the numbers on Marquis, who was Louisiana Mr. Football and the 5A offensive MVP, set a record over 3,800 rushing yards, bouncing off tacklers there before he's swamped short of the first down.
Well, you know, Marquis has that, you know, great balance. That, you know, he's 204 pounds, short, 5'11", but just he's very, very hard to knock off his feet. Good, strong run by Chris Marquis, and forces some missed tackles by the Notre Dame defense.
And that'll be the final play of the first quarter from Notre Dame Stadium, with the Irish leading the Bruins by a count of 7-0. We'll return to Notre Dame Stadium after these messages from your local NBC station. You're watching Notre Dame football presented by Sirius Satellite Radio.
Here is Brady Quinn looking. Pump fakes. He rolls to the near side. Throws it. It's caught by Samardzija. Inside the 20. Inside the 10. He's going in. Notre Dame has scored.
The funny thing about that video, though, if you watch it, after Jeff scored his touchdown, the first person to greet Jeff was a good friend of mine by the name of Pat Kuntz. Pat Kuntz is a defensive tackle, mind you. He was the first guy on the field to greet him.
Start the second quarter with Notre Dame leading UCLA 7-0. Notre Dame football presented by Sirius Satellite Radio. Autumn afternoon at Notre Dame Stadium. The Irish 5-1. The Bruins 4-2. Third down here for UCLA. Tailback Marquis lowers his head and picks up the first down. It was indeed a strong run by the junior from Luling, Louisiana, the New Orleans area. So UCLA hanging right there with Notre Dame so far. Their defense made a couple of nice plays, and the offense sort of starting to get on track.
Well, the defense is tackling much better than they did last week against Oregon.
Yeah.
That was 33 missed tackles last week, and when Oregon ran for 256 yards, much better defensive tackling today. And they just converted 2 3rd and 3s on this drive. This
drive for the Bruins started at their own 13-yard line. Play action fake. Cowan's pass. Short hop incomplete. Diving attempt made for the reception, but the pass was too low. It was Marcus Everett that tried to get it.
And Victor Abiamiri putting some pressure on Pat Cowan. You know, we always talk so much about sacks and those kind of things, but oftentimes pressures can be just as important. And Victor Abiamiri in Pat Cowan's face.
Top-ranked Buckeyes rolling again, and Nebraska and Texas in a good one. Louisville still unbeaten. Wisconsin moving up in the rankings. A nice victory over Purdue. And Arkansas, the surprise team to me in college football, beating Ole Miss.
Look at Ben Olsen.
Ben Olsen, the quarterback who was injured, still a couple of weeks before he could return to action. Marquis fights to get back to the line of scrimmage. Landry had a hold of him and several other Irish defenders.
Trevor Raw's got a piece of him. Terrell Lambert, who continues to shine for the Irish as a pass defender and tackler. Trevor Laws and Derek Landry. There's Luke Landry. You know, 2 good inside guys.
2 quick inside.
Yeah, boy, they get off the ball so fast. Trevor Laws, for an inside guy, you know, he's had 32 tackles. Trevor Laws has as an inside player. That's in 6 games. That's a pretty good plan.
Nice tackle too there by Lambert, who's doing everything for this Notre Dame defense. Had an interception earlier.
And he's up there right now.
Another third and long for Cowan. Chased from the pocket, dodges the rush. Wow! Fired a rifle shot, and it's complete. Everett for a touchdown.
Longest pass play for a UCLA receiver this season.
54 yards. Cowan's longest completion had been 25.
And I tell you, we talked about Pat Cowan being, you know, good and a good athlete, moving around the pocket. He gets reset and then just drills it to Marcus Everett.
He had some steam on that
Absolutely.
one.
He's accurate and he's got a strong arm.
And Everett and Brazil were right there together. Usually that spells disaster for a team when they have 2 men running routes right together, but Everett snatched it out of the air and took it in for the score, and Medlock's extra point will tie it at 7. So UCLA strikes 52 yards on the pass play to Marcus Everett, his 3rd touchdown reception of the season. Carl Durrell and company tie it at 7. From Notre Dame Stadium, Golden Dome on the campus of the University of Notre Dame, the Basilica there in the foreground, and at the stadium, sold out for the 190th consecutive time. It's a 7-7 game as Everett catches a 52-yard pass from Cowan to tie the game.
Yeah, Cowan was about to get sacked. Just kind of bought a little more time by stepping up in the pocket and just drilled it.
As the Bruins converted 3 third downs on that drive. Medlock will kick it off to either Grimes or West. David Grimes, 2 yards deep, and did not make the 20-yard line. Slapped down at the 17 on good special teams coverage by the Bruins. Here's the touchdown.
Yeah, you see the way he just kind of stepped up in that pocket. He was about to get brought down by Victor Abiamiri, but the strong play by Pat Cowan kept his eyes downfield the whole way. Top of the screen is Marcus Everett. And you're right, it looked like Brazil, number 1, just kind of slowed down thinking he was going to get it. but it was intended for Everett. Makes a nice catch off the good move from Cowan to tie the score. It's a good play, good drive.
So Irish with a first down at their 17-yard line. Numbers on the UCLA drive. 3 wide receivers, McKnight, Anastasio, and Samardzija. Hand off to Walker. Shook a tackle. Got by another one and then ducks out of bounds after a nice gain on first down. About a 5-yard gain.
Darius Walker, he is nifty. He's elusive. He's durable, and his durability really allowed Charlie Weiss to kind of change his roster, if you will, by moving Travis Thomas to defense, get more speed on defense. You could only do that because Darius Walker is so strong and just does not get hurt.
McKnight ducks out of bounds after picking up a first down, catching the pass in front of Rodney Van.
Raymond McKnight, what was Charlie saying to us yesterday about him? Just so quick in and out of breaks, just a little quick out there. Got a touchdown pass in 5 straight games.
Ball at the 29.
And also good for a lot of first downs is Raymond McKnight. Let's see, about 38 receptions, 20 of those on first downs. How about the third down conversions?
Yeah. Walker, that vision, looking for a seam, and could find none against this tough UCLA defense. So much better against the run today against Oregon. And good as we told you on the season. Christian Taylor, Justin Hickman combining on the stop. The numbers for the season for UCLA, giving up only 84 rushing yards a game, 14th in all of college football. And the UCLA defense has been opportunistic, causing a lot of turnovers. 8 fumble recoveries and 8 interceptions. Actually 9 now. Quinn going downfield for McKnight. Jump ball, and 2 UCLA defenders were there.
Good play by Dennis Keys, the free safety, went over to help Rodney Van to knock that one out. Dennis Keys really covered some territory. Number 11, the free safety. A guy who almost gave up football a couple of years ago, but hung in there, and adjusting to the ball much better this year than he ever has. Another 3rd and long for the Irish.
Stats on Dennis Keys, who went to Birmingham High School, All-American running back and defensive back there, rushed for nearly 1,700 yards and 36 touchdowns.
It's awfully comfortable back there at free safety.
3rd down and 10. Play stopped.
Timeout.
So
Notre Dame.
Looks like Notre Dame. Charlie Weiss, I think, called the timeout just as Brady Quinn was ready to get the play underway. So timeout taken by the Irish. It comes with 12:21 on the clock. This is the second quarter, and we're 7-7. 7-7 game. Dwayne Walker, the defensive coordinator, coming over from the NFL like Charlie Weiss and having an immediate impact on the defense of the Bruins. So much improved.
Actually, he and Weiss were on a staff for a year in New England.
He was assistant defensive backs coach. And kind of the game within the game as his defense tries to stymie Coach Weiss in his play calling for the Notre Dame offense.
Hickman down here again, a guy who's been in Brady Quinn's face a lot this first half.
Quinn having to move around in the pocket and in trouble and sacked. Justin Hickman now with 8.5 sacks on the season.
The amazing thing about Justin Hickman, coming into this game, Tom, he had 19 total tackles. 18 of them were actually on the other side of the line of scrimmage. He had 7.5 sacks and then 11 tackles for loss. So when you play against Justin Hickman, you're playing on your side of the line of scrimmage.
A 16-yard loss as Hickman slings Quinn to the turf. And so Price will punt from his own goal line, and Graves deep for the Bruins. UCLA should get excellent field position out of this one as Price booms it downfield. 3rd and 10. Graves calls for a fair catch and takes it.
At the 38-yard line.
49-yard punt. Good effort by Price. And there's a look at Justin Hickman, the senior from Glendale, Arizona.
Yes, son of Donnie Hickman, a great player at USC with the Rams. But Justin Hickman is a guy that has done it all season long. Opener against Utah. Just plays on the other line of the scrimmage. I've never seen a guy, 18 of his 19 tackles have been tackles for losses. 3 sacks against Stanford. One of the caused a fumble that was returned for a touchdown. You need to have a plan for Justin Hickman.
You played with his dad, didn't you?
Sure did.
First down pass, Cowan going deep. Lambert had good position on Everett. Incidental contact there, incomplete, as once again they stretch the field, something they haven't done most of the season. There are the numbers on Hickman, very impressive.
We were talking to Justin Hickman Wednesday over on the UCLA campus, and we were talking about his pass rushing skills. That, hey, that first step is the most key thing. And then, remember, he said, I've got a plethora of rushes. That means a lot, Tom. He's got a lot of them. He's used most of them today, a plethora.
Thanks for the consecutive translation.
Yeah, hit ball, 1 on rip, 2 on rip, hit them all.
2nd and 10. They tried on the ground. Nothing doing. Notre Dame defense throws back Marquis.
Chris Fromm, number 75, kind of leading the way there. You mentioned Ronald Talley, no longer part of the program. So Chris goes from, he kind of started half the games. They usually started him against passing teams, and Talley started against running teams. But Chris Fromm has had a nice year as a pass rusher in particular.
From another Californian, went to Hart High School in Newhall, California, where he was an all-state offensive and defensive lineman.
Nearly a year to the day when he blew out his knee against USC.
3rd and long, Bruins. Cowan setting up a screen. Marquis trying to use his blockers. Will be short of the first down.
Didn't Marquis rush that just a little bit, Tom?
Yeah, maybe he should have waited for some blocking. He gained 8, but it's short of the first down. And Dukeway and Crum combining on the hit.
And Shannon Tavaga, number 71, watch him out front. And just kind of waits for him maybe off his hip and cuts it outside. I think he's got the first down.
So Aaron Perez will punt for UCLA, and George West is deep for the Irish. Good series by the Notre Dame defense. West is going to let it bounce, and it reaches the end zone on the fly for the touchback. Covered 55, but a net of 35. It'll come out to the 20, where the Irish take over with Brady Quinn under center when we return. Just under 10 minutes to go. First half, 7-7 game. Since the Samardzija touchdown reception, Notre Dame has had 2 drives, and both have resulted in 3 plays and out. In fact, both gained negative yardage, -1 and -16 after the sack of Quinn. Irish take over on their 3rd drive now since the touchdown catch. And they won't get that play underway. Penalty flags.
You talk about how well this UCLA defense has played. Notre Dame has had 11 rushes for just 14 yards. And they're tackling so much better. Last week against Oregon, they gave up 256 yards because of a lot of missed tackles. 33 of them if you count them. Much better tackling today. Caused the fumble there on the opening Notre Dame drive. The pressure by Hickman in Brady Quinn's face. A completely different defensive effort today than against Oregon a week ago.
Notre Dame with just 3 first downs today.
So 33 missed tackles last week. Today, just 3 missed tackles.
Marcus Freeman, the tight end, was guilty of a false start, adding 5 yards to what Quinn must gain. There was an outlet that short hops Ashley McConnell incomplete.
I tell you, Sam Young had a terrific block that time on Justin Hickman. Justin Hickman's having a good first half, and there's the freshman, Sam Young, who Charlie Weiss was saying just gets better every single week. Number 74, watch here. You know what Hickman is done to a lot of other tackles, not only today but this year. And then Sam Young just kind of rides him right to the ground.
And Coach Weiss saying that Sam shows no signs of hitting a wall like many freshmen do this time of the season. 2nd down, 15. After the incomplete pass, Walker upended. Short gain in the play. Kevin Brown from the defensive line of the Bruins with a sure tackle.
Tom, one of the things about Sam Young, I think these big guys are such good athletes these days, and Sam Young is one of those guys. You know, he's 6'7", almost 300 pounds, but, you know, he swam competitively for 10 years in Florida. He played basketball. He was a baseball pitcher, state shot put champ, even skateboard. Just a big old athlete.
3rd down and 13. Quinn from the shotgun formation, rolling to his right. The blockers move with him, giving him time. Downfield for McKnight and picked off. Now incomplete.
Good play by Chris Horton, the strong safety. What a play by Horton.
Horton had it.
He sure did.
And then the ball comes loose.
And the Irish double-team Justin Hickman up front to allow Brady Quinn to get this ball off, but just undercuts the receiver, does Horton.
And McKnight plays defensive back there as he strips the ball free.
Much different UCLA defense, certainly than last year, and even different than last week.
Against Oregon, they had their problems. Notre Dame's 4th punt as Jeff Price takes aim on Graves, the deep man for UCLA.
Whoop.
Shanky.
Oof. I wouldn't say Shanky very much.
I was hoping you wouldn't. Well, Price has been so steady all season long, but not that time. Just 21 yards on the shanked punt by Price, and UCLA will send its offense out in Notre Dame territory.
How about 3 very uncharacteristic plays from Notre Dame this year? The shank punt, you know, a missed touchdown pass to a wide open receiver by Brady Quinn, and then a fumble by Darius Walker.
And Coach Weiss saying that he was fearful of the letdown. Normal after a bye week. The students on their fall break had not been on campus. It's been rather quiet and perhaps a little flat. And UCLA taking advantage. Draw play, Marquis. Zbikowski up from that safety spot to hit him. Tom Zbikowski returning to action after the injury. You know, he was hit in the head, which caused some weakness in his shoulder, held out by Coach Weiss. And Coach Weiss telling us yesterday that doubtful he would play the whole game today because he does not want to take a chance with Zbikowski's health. And he'll decide sometime during the game that Zbikowski probably will come out for good.
You know, he's one of those guys that just loves to play football. And if you played doubleheaders in football, he'd sign up for both games.
2nd down. Brazil in motion. Cowan hit and incomplete. That was Landry that was on him in an instant.
Tom, did you see Derek Landry crowding the line of scrimmage? I mean, it looked like it was going to be disastrous from Pat Cowan even before the ball was snapped because of number 66 getting that quick jump. You know, and I think you need to change the snap count up on Derek Landry and Trevor Laws. But remember, Pat Cowan battling a very weak voice.
Well, here's another key 3rd down. We've seen a lot of them in this first half on both sides of the football. 3rd down and 7. Cowan, across the middle, complete. William Snead for the touchdown. Snead, I believe that's his first reception of the season.
Well, was a defensive lineman 3 weeks ago, Tom.
He took it in for the score, 36 yards.
He played the first 3 games for the Bruins as a defensive lineman. Then Ryan Moya got injured, J.J. Hare got injured, so they moved him on offense really 3 weeks ago. Jim Swoboda, the offensive coordinator, was saying, you know, we think we have a pretty good athlete in William Snead, and you saw some of that right there.
Justin Medlock, extra point attempt, squirts through the upright, just sneaking inside that left upright. And UCLA has shocked the Irish. The Bruins, about a 14-point underdog, have taken the lead on this touchdown reception by William Snead, breaking tackles and galloping into the end zone. It's 14-7 Bruins. UCLA takes the lead over Notre Dame with 7:18 left. Bruins have scored 14 straight as we look at our Lincoln scoring drive. Snead's first career catch is for a touchdown.
You know, they haven't had many explosive plays this year yet, but 2 in the first half against Notre Dame.
Medlock will kick it off in front of the shocked sellout crowd here at Notre Dame Stadium. Weston Grimes deep. Grimes, a yard deep, comes out with it. Twice he's done that, and twice it has not been a good decision. Pounded to the turf short of the 20-yard line, with Ramirez leading the special teams for the Bruins.
Let's have another look at that scoring drive. It was only a 3-play drive. Highlighted is William Snead. I'm not sure what kind of defensive lineman he was, but he looks like he's going to be a pretty good tight end, Tom. He's 255 pounds, similar to that play Purdue had, where kind of two Notre Dame defenders hit each other and gave up a touchdown. But nice big play by William Snead, 36-yard touchdown catch to put the Bruins on top.
On that Lincoln scoring drive, you saw tacklers bouncing off the big guy, and now Notre Dame takes over. Their last 3 possessions have all been 3 and out. Play action fake. Brady Quinn goes to work to Freeman.
With a good tackle.
Carlson, excuse me. It's Carlson. Makes the catch, and the gain is minimal.
Another good tackle that time by Chris Horton. They came into the game as their leading tackler. Also has a couple interceptions. He's a guy that his playing time was a long time coming. Freshman, he was redshirted, then broke a wrist, broke a foot. This was destroyed in Katrina.
Carlson again, and another 5 or 6 yard gain. That one enough for the first down. Werner, the freshman, tackling him as Charlie Weiss trying to up the tempo of the game now. 6:23 to go, second quarter, and he's going to the no huddle, trying to change the tempo.
Change the pace. I like it. It really helped in that second half of the Michigan State game in that improbable win.
And trying to jumpstart maybe a little flat offense here.
Although UCLA's played awfully good defense.
Yeah, UCLA has. That pass caught again underneath, this time to Grimes. UCLA giving up the underneath completions. Werner playing it safe that time, making the tackle short of the first down, but only by a yard.
Yeah, I think, Dwayne Walker, the defensive coordinator, you just can't get too conservative defensive either. You got to keep coming, send those defensive ends, Hickman and Davis.
Here comes a blitz, and it's out to Samardzija.
Terrific tackle that time by Rodney Van.
Van may have prevented the first down, depending on the spot of the football here. It is going to be short.
Jeff Samardzija is a hard guy to tackle in the open field, isn't he? Rodney Van got a piece of him there.
I said it was short. They're going to measure it, actually.
Rodney Van, who struggled against Washington a few weeks ago, makes a very nice play there.
So it is close, and the chains come out. And it is indeed short of the first down. Not by much.
A smidgen, isn't it?
A smidgen.
It is smidgen? Smidgen, just slightly more than a little bit.
Gotcha. Third down conversions have been poor for the Irish today. This one, though, a third down in inches.
See Reggie Carter, the defensive linebacker for the Bruins, going to wave in his arms. They forget they're on the road. They're at Notre Dame Stadium. They're not. There's what, 5,000.
Well, the band, all 250 of them are cheering.
When the band came, about 5,000 Bruin fans, but Reggie's got to understand that he's on the road.
Brady Quinn. So unstoppable when it's a short yardage, quarterback sneak. And he appears to have the first.
Brady Quinn is bigger than most linebackers, isn't he? He's 6'4", 230 pounds.
Close-up look at him, and he is a strong young man. And not only is he a strong young man, he's passed 10,000 career yards passing today, but he is a delightful young man.
I think he's done just about everything you could ask for a quarterback in Notre Dame to do, except maybe win the Heisman Trophy or the national championship. Still hoping they can do that.
Check some other scores. Missouri losing for the first time, trying to bounce back. Auburn leading Tulane. Quinn steps up. He's in trouble and tackled for another sack, this time by Bruce Davis.
Yeah, that's the other defensive end, Bruce Davis. Yeah, and you give Dwayne Walker, the defensive coordinator, credit. Bruce Davis was kind of a lost player in this program until this year. It's around Ryan Harris. Really wasn't Ryan Harris's fault. Good coverage downfield, but Bruce Davis really was kind of a linebacker, didn't play much, and then that man, Dwayne Walker, said, hey, be a pass rushing specialist as a defensive end on the open side and go tackle the quarterback, and he's done it.
The sack twins, Davis and Hickman. Quinn trying to set up a screen, but looks like UCLA was all over it as they got penetration and It never set up properly. Intended for Darius Walker on the screenplay, and it results in another 3rd and long for the Irish.
Yeah, I think Eric Neal, number 2, kind of read that screen pretty well. Kind of broke that one up. Rodney Van, too. So what's this? That's what, 4th, 3rd and long for Notre Dame this first half?
Shotgun formation. Quinn given plenty of time. And McKnight makes the catch, but out of bounds short of the first down. He wants forward progress. He's not going to get it. The mark is short of the first down as Van ran him out of bounds. So they're going to go for it on 4th down.
Well, you saw some of the strength of Brady Quinn's arm. That long out route, and Raymond
That's
McKnight,
one of the toughest passes to make, isn't it?
It is. Pretty good coverage. Raymond McKnight comes back to the ball. I mean, that's where the quarterback loves to see. Now, he didn't get the first down, but if he doesn't go back for it, I think Van knocks it away.
So here they go for it again. 4th down and a yard. Another quarterback sneak. He's not been stopped. There it is on another first down.
And a little change of pace on the quarterback sneak. And ordinarily goes right over his center, John Sullivan. It was like almost a quarterback draw. Kind of stepped around his left guard, Dan Santucci.
And they used the block of Ryan Harris as left tackle.
Yeah, Santucci does a nice job of clearing the way for Brady Quinn. One of those subtle little things that help you win.
There's a nice little seam there. So the drive continues after another 4th down conversion. Slant, caught. McKnight.
Against this Notre Dame offensive team with their stars on offense, those big receivers and a tight end and Darius Walker, you just can never relax, can you, Tom? There's so many guys they can break a game open.
And they go to the no huddle to up the tempo and to prevent some of the UCLA defensive substitutions. And they're marching down the field. First down. Ball's at the 36. And Brady Quinn 6 of 7 this drive. What is that? Snagged by John Carlson, the tight end.
Snag is the right word for John Carlson. Caught one on 4th and 1 when he was well covered. We say it, even when he's covered, he's open. Just give him a chance, throw him the ball. Big, strong guy with really strong hands. Doesn't bobble the ball. And a quarterback with a lot of confidence in his tight end, John Carlson.
McNeil tackled him, but not until he had 20 yards. And there are the season numbers for John Carlson, who is rapidly becoming one of the best tight ends in college football, replacing Anthony Fasano, who was so good last year. And many said, well, they're gonna be hurting at tight end.
Absolutely. And let's take a look at some of these terrific catches by John Carlson, the 6'6" tight end, opening game against Georgia Tech. That was like on a 3rd and 2, just kind of hung with it. Against Penn State, right down the middle, 3 defenders on him. Against Michigan State, he made a big catch on 4th and 1. This one, I think, was 62 yards into the house. How about the one-handed stab against Stanford a couple of weeks ago? It's worth looking at twice, right? And think about John Carlson. He came in that class of 2003. Greg Olson, the highly recruited tight end in the country.
And Fasano last year put up such great numbers. All Carlson has done is make them look average.
But my point about, Olson was here, Fasano was here when he first came. Olson transfers, Fasano leaves early. He may not have gotten a chance to play. All of a sudden, he's become a star for the Irish. Fortuitous circumstance, perhaps. Well, I just can't tell you, if you're a quarterback and have a guy, a tight end that big, that you can get the ball downfield. You not necessarily go dinks and dunks for 4 or 5 yards, but you go 20, 30 yards for you. What a weapon.
You saw the current drive after UCLA took the timeout. First down for the Irish. Quinn has hit 7 of 8 on this drive. Quinn in trouble. Escaped one man and another. Finally dragged down inside the 10-yard line by Bruce Davis.
Well, I tell you, Brady Quinn is just so strong. And, every Irish fan just kind of holds their breath every time he scrambles, but he always seems to bounce back up. Pretty athletic guy himself. Kind of puts the ball in the right arm, or his left arm, which is the correct arm,
like a running back, yeah. Well, The no huddle has indeed upped the tempo. It's 2nd down and a yard. Quinn maybe changing the plays. He identifies the middle linebacker. And Walker. Darius Walker caught from behind, and then the pursuit catches it. Reggie Carter, the first to latch on to Darius Walker.
First man in there was number
As the Bruin defense has been so tough against the run today.
Reggie Carter that time, one of the outside linebackers. Good penetration. Look at the 3-4 white jerseys around Darius Walker. Good team defense, trying to force the turnover, the strip.
Here's another 3rd down. This one, 3rd down and 2.
You know, pick your poison there. You've got McKnight, Samardzija, Carlson, and Walker to defend.
Samardzija's in motion. Walker. Again, the UCLA defense tough against the rushing attack. Short of the 1st down. It'll be 4th.
Well, I thought Darius Walker was going to get stopped about 3 yards short of that.
We're going to give the
lucky to get back.
Yeah, really a determined run by Darius Walker. Nowhere to go. Absolutely nowhere. Sanducci trying to open a hole for him, but Trey Brown, number 23, comes in and is trying to take the ball away from him.
We're going to measure. Got it. Spotted the football, and that is one link short.
You know, you haven't stopped Brady Quinn yet on quarterback sneak. And, you know, give Darius Walker, it should have been 4th and 2, but he just kind of kept going and churning and churning and churning. You have 4th and an inch now. A smidgen.
So another 4th down for the Irish. This long drive in the no huddle. Now they do huddle up. Punctuated by some 3rd and 4th down conversions. 15th play of the drive. 4th down and 1 chain link. Quinn. Still perfect, it would appear. It's shoving going on there as they try to unstack him. Sam Young, the freshman, getting his nose wet in there. He says, I know all about this game now. I've got it figured out.
Former swimmer, shot putter, skateboarder.
Whatever.
Yeah.
And referee just signaled 1st down.
There you go.
So 1st and goal Irish, just short of the UCLA 5-yard line after this quarterback sneak.
That's 3 today for Quinn, right? Went over the center, then went to his left, that time to his right, and the Irish have been awfully good in the red zone this year.
1st and goal, 3 tight ends, Carlson, Freeman, Yateman. Darius Walker, the lone setback. Samardzija, the lone wideout. Walker. Inside the 5, latched on by Bruce Davis.
And Brigham Harwell, number 93, got a piece of him really early. Bruce Davis finished him off, but Harwell, inside tackle, really got there first. Number 93. Just kind of dives at his feet and slowed him down.
Final minute of the half. 2nd and goal. Munir Prince, the freshman running back, makes an appearance in the backfield. 3 wide receivers this time. 2nd and goal. Clock shows 42 seconds and counting. Fumble, and Quinn was able to fall on it.
You know, it's interesting, just a moment ago, I saw the play earlier, Brady Quinn picked up a piece of loose turf and threw it, 10 yards away from him. So he was kind of slipping around. Does there again. Boy, he has been so good in the final drive of the halves this season. 3 touchdown passes and a rushing touchdown.
Take a timeout here with just 16 seconds left. And facing a 3rd and goal at the 6-yard line of UCLA. Closing seconds of the half, and Notre Dame hoping to tie it up. 16 seconds left in the first half. Notre Dame with a 3rd and goal from the 6-yard line of UCLA. This will be the 18th play of a drive, which has covered so far 74 yards and over 7 minutes on the clock, and has included a couple of 4th down conversions.
And Samardzija and McKnight right on the same side.
And timeout taken by UCLA.
Good use of a defensive timeout.
Yeah.
Very good use.
It was going to go wasted anyway, so call a timeout. That was their final one. Notre Dame has 1 timeout left. So just 16 seconds remaining before we'll send you to the Toyota halftime show with Jimmy Roberts back in our New York studio. And he'll be joined by Peter King. We'll have NFL news. In fact, take a look at some of the NFL draft prospects for some of the Irish players. They'll also have college football scores and highlights. And we remind you that if you'd like to see the halftime performances of the Notre Dame and UCLA bands, you can see those live at NBCSports.com. That's all coming up. The Toyota halftime show is 16 seconds of game clock away.
So we talked about how good Brady Quinn has been in his last drive of the half this year. It has been awfully impressive, beginning when they really needed it again that first half against Georgia Tech in the opener. And then in Rima McKnight against Penn State. Michigan, even though they lost that game, finds Jeff Samardzija in the back of the end zone. And then McKnight again against Stanford. So not settling for field goals, really setting the tempo in the game for the 3rd quarter with those second quarter drives.
4 of the 6 games this year, he's conducted drives resulting in a touchdown just before halftime, and trying to work that magic here with 16 seconds left. 3rd and goal, 6-yard line, empty backfield, and 5 wide receivers.
We haven't seen this set this year. The 5 receiver set, and we're moving Marcus Freeman.
Quinn's going to keep it. And down to about the 3-yard line. You think he audible to that call?
Yes, I do. And he still has a timeout remaining with 6 seconds. He ought to use it. One of his teammates ought to use it because he's down in the bottom of the pile.
The clock does go down to 5 before they stop it.
That's what, they ran a quarterback draw against Georgia Tech. We just saw that a moment ago.
And, of course, Charlie Weiss says when you get to the red zone, you have to score touchdowns.
Well, it's tough to throw the ball in the red zone because there's a limited area of field that the defenders have to cover. But I think that if your team has a mindset that touchdowns are the goal, not field goals, usually you have a chance for more productivity.
However,
here comes the field goal team. Another good defensive stop, if you will, or series for the Bruins of UCLA.
Well, there's Carl Joya, who has
3 of 6. But remember, they ran a fake field goal here a couple weeks ago.
This will be a 21-yard attempt, and Samardzija, the holder, ran the fake and ran it in for a touchdown. So Joya, a 21-yard attempt if it's not a fake. He'll kick it, and it will be good. So with 5 seconds left in the half, Charlie Weiss selects to go for the field goal, and that means that the Irish will leave the field after a first half that saw UCLA take the fight to them and lead the Irish 14-10. Tom Zibikowski and the Irish defense giving up 2 touchdowns to UCLA, and the UCLA defense has been extra special tough here in this first half. Long drive just before halftime for Brady Quinn and the Irish offense, but unable to punch it in for the touchdown. Let's go to Lewis.
All right, Tom, thanks a lot. Well, Coach, this is the offense you were looking for, I guess, those big plays. Talk about the way Pat Cowan has carried the team so far.
Well, he's made a couple of great throws, obviously, with getting us a couple touchdowns. It was good to see William Snead make the last touchdown. His first catch be a touchdown. That's a pretty good percentage of scoring protection per catch. But we're off to a good start. Had one mistake in the first quarter where we went for it, but, that probably gave us a little bit of a boost to get going.
And quickly, your defense.
Defense is battling well, so they're back to the normal. They're back to doing the way that they were supposed to do, and they're playing well.
All right, Carl, thanks. Tom?
All right, Lewis, so halftime here at Notre Dame Stadium with UCLA leading Notre Dame 14-10, and plenty ahead. Jimmy Roberts joined by Peter King in our New York studio. And a reminder, the halftime performances of the Notre Dame and UCLA bands live on NBCSports.com. But now it's time for the Toyota halftime show. Let's go to Jimmy Roberts.
Here is Brady Quinn looking. Pump fakes. He rolls to the near side. Throws it. It's caught by Samardzija. Inside the 20. Inside the 10. He's going in. Notre Dame has scored.
The funny thing about that video, though, if you watch it, after Jeff scored his touchdown, the first person to greet Jeff was a good friend of mine by the name of Pat Kuntz. Pat Kuntz is a defensive tackle, mind you. He was the first guy on the field to greet him.
Heading to the start of the third quarter with UCLA leading Notre Dame. And a couple of moments ago, Lewis Johnson caught up with Coach Charlie Weis.
Coach, Walker, McKnight, and Samardzija have been held in check in the first half. How do you get them going on offense here in the second half?
I mean, they've done a nice job on defense right there. We're just going to have a couple little things to change this up when we get going here in the third quarter.
And what about trying to put some pressure on Pat Cowan, their quarterback? What do you do with him?
Well, I mean, they've made two big plays in the pass game right here. Other than that, the defense had played pretty stout, except for the two big plays. We just can't give up the big play.
All right, Coach, thank you.
You're welcome.
So.
All right, Lewis. Quarterback stats for the first half find that Patrick Cowan, the quarterback of UCLA, is toe-to-toe with Brady Quinn. In fact, you might say he's outplayed him 2 touchdown passes to 1, and the rating higher than Brady Quinn. Second career start for the sophomore Cowan.
Well, you know, he was almost, he was in a real battle for the starting position in training camp. Ben Olsen ultimately won it, but Pat Cowan, it was a very, very late decision by Calderal because Cowan deserved a shot.
You also talked about how the UCLA defense had cut off the wide receivers, but they've also done a job on Darius Walker, who'd been so potent the last few games.
Yeah, he's only averaged, 2.3 yards a carry. He's only got 33 yards in the first half. Does not have a reception. What a first half for a guy celebrating his 21st birthday, Tom. His 21st year is not off to a good start.
Ryan Burkhardt kicks off to Turner and Willis. And cut down short of the 20-yard line. Turner. And Coach Charlie Weis talking about the big plays by the UCLA offense as they do something they haven't done most of the season, that's stretch the field.
Well, they only had 2 scoring plays of 35 yards in this first half. Remember, coming in today's game, they only had 2 completions of greater than 24 yards on the entire season. So a much better and more explosive first half for the Bruins.
This opening drive in the third quarter, always so important. Let's see how it plays out here as the Bruins take over at their own 19. Cowan's pass is dropped by Paulson, the tight end.
Well, on the road against Notre Dame team who's been particularly good in the third quarter. Opening drive in the second half, you just can't drop balls like this. Perfect throw again by Pat Cowan to a guy, Logan Paulson, who's been a pretty reliable receiver. We talk about the Irish being so good in this third quarter, outscoring their opponents significantly, 45-15. And 17-0 in the last 2 games. It talk about adjustments, but Charlie Weis and his staff have been able to do that this season.
Handoff to Marquis, the tailback. Thrown back for the Notre Dame defense led by Travis Thomas.
So instead of a first down on maybe the 35-yard line, 40-yard line, they're faced with a third and probably 12 now deep in their own territory. So a dangerous situation right now for Pat Cowan. Travis Thomas, number 26, coming off the corner, just chasing. Former running back, put him on defense for his speed. You saw it right there. Now, this is a significant play right now for Pat Cowan, Tom, right? I mean, you know the score, you know the situation of the game. Don't force anything here on 3rd and 12.
That drop by Paulson, which would have been a first down, looming large. Cowan setting up a little screen. Didn't get much. Everett made the reception, but immediately Travis Thomas is there along with Derek Landry and others.
Yeah, 2 good speed plays in a row by number 26, Travis Thomas. Yeah, we saw him chase from behind. And who else was there? Derek Landry out there as well. The quick Derek Landry playing defensive tackle, stopping the screen.
So Perez in punt formation, and West is deep for Notre Dame. Low kick taken by the upman Samardzija.
It's kind of a new formation that Charlie Weis put in this week for UCLA. Samardzija up and West deep.
Punt was only 32. Samardzija got 3 yards on the return, and Notre Dame ready for its first possession of the second half. Notre Dame Stadium at about 4:45 Eastern Time. The aerial coverage brought to you by Goodyear Tires, featuring triple tread technology with 3 separate tread zones for peace of mind in any weather. Beautiful aerial shot. And Brady Quinn, 4 of 11. Then on that last drive was 7 of 8, but had to settle for the field goal. Now the Irish with their offense on the field for the first time here in the second half, beginning with excellent field position, their own 47-yard line.
First and 10.
Movement up front. Kevin Brown and Brigham Harwell of UCLA, Big Bob Morton of Notre Dame, all moving.
Dead ball, offside, defense, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
That'll make it first and 5.
So UCLA offside, 5-yard step off against the Bruins, making it first and 5.
You mentioned Darius Walker celebrating, I should say, his 21st birthday, maybe a misnomer, celebrating when you have this kind of day. How about no reception? He came in leading the team in receptions with 38.
Darius and his mother Laverne sharing the same birthday. That's going to be a subdued celebration unless things turn around. Maybe they will. As Walker races for a first down to the 40-yard line where he's tackled by Chris Horton.
You know, you always give it to Mr. Dependable Darius Walker following a good block by Sam Young up front. Again, another one of those delayed patterns. Let him read it, feel it, and see it. The great eyes, the vision, and then just kind of seizes the hole and picks up the first down.
Quinn changing the play. Identifies points at the middle linebacker. Blitz comes. Quinn chase. Unloads it. Caught by an equipment man on the UCLA sideline. Doesn't count, does it? Kevin Brown was bearing down on Brady Quinn.
Okay, once again, good pressure by this, front four. They haven't had a blitz a lot, although I think it was a late blitz here by Reggie Carter and Christian Taylor. But, Hickman and Davis and Brown and Harwell have done a pretty good job themselves. Excellent catch by one of the coaches.
Yeah, assistant coach.
Yeah.
Shows he still has his skills, making it second down and 10.
There's that 5 wide receiver set we saw in the into the first half.
Empty backfield. Quinn under center. Short drop to Samardzija. Ridden out of bounds by Dennis Keys.
Run out of bounds by Dennis Keys.
Well, when you do this, you have the 5 wide receiver, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up here. They just forces the defense to defend not only the entire vertical but the horizontal part of the field as well. And generally when you have an empty backfield, if you're on defense, it's going to be a quick throw. And indeed, it was a quick throw to Samardzija to pick up 5 yards.
And they need 5 more. Third down and 5. Again, the empty backfield, 5 wide look, but this time Quinn's in the shotgun.
Good play.
Yeah, it was a good play. Well covered by the linebacker, Christian Taylor. Taylor taking the tight end and up to the coverage of Big John Carlson.
Well, from Salinas, California, Christian Taylor said, I met with him on Wednesday, and Tom, he was ready to play right then, right in the middle of your screen. Perfect coverage. With his left hand, knocks the ball away. Brady Quinn had plenty of time looking for his tight end. Transfer from Air Force. And then walked on to UCLA.
Fourth down and 5. Notre Dame has converted all 3 prior fourth down attempts today. And it's a quick kick by Brady Quinn, but it's right to the end zone on the hop, so it'll come out to the 20. Trying to catch UCLA unawares and try to down it deep, but Quinn's surprise play reaches the end zone.
Well, I haven't seen that in 2 years.
Probably ought to keep his day job. 14-10 game and even 12 minutes left as UCLA takes the ball for the second time in this third quarter. Collin rolling going to run with it.
Big athlete, isn't he, Tom?
He is. Once he got that head of steam, he just kept on rolling and made a pretty nice first down gain.
Because Travis Thomas had the fullback Petrie covered. He was going to run a little rollout, throw the ball to the fullback, number 32 Petrie in the flat. But watch Travis Thomas cut that off. And then Petrie just kind of gets in front of him.
Yeah, just screening him and enabling his quarterback to get 9 yards.
A real nice first down play. You know, they've been pretty methodical at times, too. They've had the 2 big pass plays, but other than that, they've kind of marched methodical, controlled the ball, the clock, a little bit like Notre Dame likes to do to its opponents.
131 yards through the air for Cowan. Dropped it. I think Cowan got back on it. No, they say Notre Dame has it. I think Trevor Laws might have snatched it out of the arms of Cowan. It looked like he had fallen on it, but then Laws comes up with it for Notre Dame.
Sudden change defense now for UCLA, and for Notre Dame, an opportunity again. Ball came out very quickly on the exchange from Chai, the center. Just never had a handle on it.
Yeah, at that point I thought that he had recovered it, but he might have gotten his hand stepped on too.
But you're right, Trevor Laws just kind of muscled it out of there.
So after the turnover, Notre Dame gets it at the UCLA 28-yard line. High formation, McConnell fullback, Walker's the tailback. Samardzija in motion. Quinn back to pass, into pressure. Ducks under the rush, and then sprints to the outside and out of bounds at the 25-yard line, just short of the 25.
Well, you know, there's good pass rush on Brady Quinn, but there must be some good pass coverage down the field, Tom, because he had some time there. He's had some time a few times, nothing open. Brady Quinn was not going to force it. Let's take a look at some of this coverage here. And then, you know, just under duress, picks up about 2 yards. The good pass rush combined with the coverage forced that play.
Second down play. Texas just barely beating Nebraska in Lincoln today. Walker on the draw.
Texas kicked a field goal, I think, with about 20 seconds left to beat Nebraska.
Chris Horton made the last stop for UCLA as they continue to hold Walker in check.
Chris Horton, although he's listed as a strong safety, really plays a lot like a linebacker. Again, one of the many defensive players who have thrived under Dwayne Walker's new aggressive defensive system.
Walker only averaging 2.5 yards a carry. On the season, he's averaged nearly 4.5. Kenneth Lombard coming across and said, nope, Bob Morton drew me off. So we'll see. Had several of those today, haven't we?
Yeah, 3 of them.
Hit ball, false start, offense. 5-yard penalty, still third down.
It was Bob Morton, and I must say we have had 3 of them, and they've been very unpredictable in how they're going to go.
Indeed. Yeah, a little move there, but Morton got his hands on him.
Yep.
Lombard, kind of the John Havlicek of their defensive line. They kind of plays like a 6th man, really the 5th defensive lineman, kind of fills in a tackle and an end.
From Los Angeles, and had a fumble recovery for a TD earlier.
How about the Irish? 2 of 11 on 3rd down today, largely because they've been in a lot of these 3rd and 10, 3rd and 12s.
Going to bunch 3 wide receivers to the left, and now they'll send Carlson in motion. Resets. Quinn with all day. Dropped by Walker.
Still no catches for Darius Walker.
Pretty well covered that time by Dennis Keys, but Walker couldn't hold on, and it's 4th down.
Yeah, Carl Joya comes on.
So field goal attempt upcoming for Notre Dame after they recovered the UCLA football deep in Bruin territory. And once again, we're going to settle for a field goal attempt. Joya's longest this season has been 35. This one a 48-yard attempt. Samardzija holds. Joya made the 21-yarder. This one 48 yards. And never even close. No good. So UCLA dodges the turnover. They fumbled the ball. Notre Dame unable to convert. It remains 14-10 Bruins. Golden Dome with the administration building on the campus of the University of Notre Dame, with a home team trailing at the moment. Now it's time for our Liberty Mutual Legends of the game. Paul Hornung, the Golden Boy, an outstanding all-round athlete playing quarterback, halfback, fullback, and safety, and remains the only player from a losing team to ever win the Heisman Trophy. His team was 2-8 in 1956. As a senior, he ranked second nationally in total offense, accounted for more than half of the Irish scoring, and has remained active in the Notre Dame community, donating over $500,000 to the school, endowing scholarships. Paul Hornung, the Golden Boy, our Liberty Mutual legend of the game. There's the Heisman voting with Johnny Majors, the single-wing tailback at Tennessee, finishing second.
How about number 5, Jim Brown from Syracuse?
Yeah, some great names on that list. And Paul Hornung topped them all, went on, of course, to the Green Bay Packers, and was here, spoke at the pep rally last night, and had a wardrobe malfunction.
Let's leave it at that, Tom.
Marquis stood up by Joe Brockington and driven back.
You see why Joe Brockington, deserved the start. Charlie Weiss saying, this is a meritocracy around here. If you deserve to play, you do play. Brockington filled in for Travis Thomas in their last game, played well. He said, I'm not going to sit him. I'm going to start both of them this week. Nice play there by Joe Brockington.
Brockington getting better and better, and earning the starting nod today, as he had in the absence of Travis Thomas, who was injured in the week before. Blitz comes from Richardson, picked up by UCLA. Cowan escapes and throws it away. Good job by Patrick Cowan.
Good play, and good pickup by Chris Marquis of the blitzing Mike Richardson. And I think Pat Cowan actually kind of rolled right into that blitz. Watch number 30 come in, he gets picked up. And Cowan spins out of it ultimately, and then does a smart thing of saving about a 10-yard loss.
Yep. Outside the tight end box, the tackle box, and reaching the line of scrimmage with a pass. That is not grounding.
He's a smart guy. Pat Cowan pretty athletic. We said it, he's a big athlete.
Third down and 10.
Victor Abiamiri's been pretty quiet this game, hasn't he, Tom?
Yeah, Cowan signaling timeout. Play clock was already down to 2. So UCLA is forced to spend its first timeout of the second half. It comes with 9:05 remaining in the third quarter. Carl Durrell and his young quarterback Patrick Cowan getting only a second career start. Here's what his coach said about Cowan.
He has a strong arm. He has a quick release. He's got great size. He can move. He's very athletic. And he has all of those kind of qualities that I know in our offensive system you want your quarterback to have. You have to be able to think quickly on your feet. You got to be able to get the ball out fast. You got to be able to move and make people miss. And he's able to do those things. And he's done a nice job so far.
Well, Tom, I think he might end up being one of those guys that recruiters miss. They missed him. He wasn't even the most highly recruited Cowan in his family. His brother Joe was.
Brother Joe, a wide receiver at UCLA, and the high school coach of Patrick Cowan said, you better take a look at this guy. And the UCLA coaches did. His dad was a quarterback at the University of Washington. And at St. John Bosco High School, the coach said, you better take a look at this quarterback, Patrick Cowan. And in his second career start, he is leading Notre Dame in the third quarter at Notre Dame Stadium. Pretty impressive.
And he's a meat and potatoes kind of guy, hangs out with his teammates. He's kind of, Chardonnay and Brie kind of quarterback that sometimes you get.
As some in our booth might have been.
Yeah, I was a Chardonnay and Brie guy, I promise. But, his players like him. They play hard for him.
Great size, and as you heard his coach say, strong arm. He'll need it on third down and 10 from his own 30.
And here's Abiamiri, who's been quiet most of this game.
Cowan stands in the pocket. Brazil juggles and drops the pass, being defended by Ndukwe.
A little bit behind him. A crossing route, which they hoped to get man-to-man defense. It looked like they did with Ndukwe trailing him. But the ball thrown just a little bit behind Brazil. Catchable, but behind him. He wouldn't have picked up the first down. If he gets out in front, maybe he runs for the first down.
So Perez will punt again. George West is deep, and Samardzija the up man in case he hits a short one as he did his last attempt. It will be West. From the 22. Hit immediately, got away from that first man, but not the second wave of UCLA tacklers. Only a 2-yard return after the punt sailed 48. 8:45 left in the third. Quinn and company back to the field. 14-10 the count. Ben Olsen, the injured UCLA quarterback, trying to keep his team's offense in the game with that slim 4-point lead, and Notre Dame taking over at the Irish 25-yard line. Dropped, pass low, intended for Samardzija.
Boy, that had big play written all over it. Boy, because he catches that, he has a long way to run. Going cross grain, upstream like a salmon. He's the man in motion. Samardzija, watch all the the green turf in front of him, Tom, if he catches it.
Yep. So second down and 10. Quinn finds Walker's first catch of the day as he takes it close to the 35-yard line, just short of the first down. Another sure tackle by Carter and Van.
They bring him Harwell, a defensive tackle, actually dropped off in coverage trying to cover Darius Walker. So first catch for Walker.
Zone blitz technique.
Yeah. But McKnight only has 28 yards. Samardzija, although he caught a touchdown, only 7 yards in receptions on 3 catches. So this defensive backfield, together with the pass rush of UCLA, has really shut down these wide receivers pretty well.
Not much offense on either end of the field today. And here's another third down. This one, though, third and short. Call on Walker, and he has it. Nice move by Darius Walker. His niftiest move of the day. Chris Horton forced to tackle him from a safety spot. And Santucci with a block to spring him.
Tom, I think you have to really stay patient with the running game. Nice little the guy whiffed there. Nice little dance there by Darius Walker. But, Charlie Weiss is the kind of guy that's going to be patient, and keep feeding the ball to Darius Walker. And sooner or later, he's going to make a play.
His mom, Laverne, celebrating a birthday today, as well as her son.
He's 21, but he wouldn't tell us how old Laverne is.
Wisely.
Yes.
First down play. Again, Darius Walker gets the call. And gets a pretty good gain on first down. Hickman the tackle. And Walker with birthday wishes to his mom, Laverne.
Happy birthday, Ma. You know I love you. I appreciate everything.
And she is in the stands and hoping for a reversal of the current score with 7 minutes left in the third. Second down play. Quinn winds up and heaves it to the 40-yard line. Caught there by David Grimes, I should say, for a first down in front of Werner.
Yeah, David Grimes, the third wide receiver. Great protection for Brady Quinn. And a well-delivered ball to David Grimes.
Gain of 13 yards on that play. And our first down line today brought to you by Xerox.
A lot of first downs been brought to the Irish by Darius Walker this year.
Play action fake, and Brady Quinn's going to Samardzija. He has it, makes a move inside the 20 and just caught for the shoe tops by Dennis Keys. It goes for 22.
Okay, first big catch, really. He caught a 2-yard touchdown catch. The first big open field play by the All-American Jeff Samardzija. Brady Quinn kind of hops up in the pocket, little bunny steps, and then a good open field tackle by Dennis Keys, or Samardzija's gone for a touch.
Ball at the 19 of UCLA, and the officials will stop the clock with a Bruin timeout. So UCLA takes its second timeout of this second half. Only one left for Carl Durrell and his team, but they lead it 14-10. Notre Dame knocking on the door. Two of the top 3 receivers all time at Notre Dame on the field, but Knight's number 5 and number 5 uniform number and number 2 on the list, and Samardzija, who just passed with that last reception Jim Seymour to take over 3rd place in the all-time Irish list. Darius Walker trying to find a little alley and can find not much before Eric McNeil takes him down.
Eric McNeil. And 11, Dennis Keys.
And near the end of today's game, we'll select the Chevrolet players of the game from each team to honor their determination and outstanding play. Chevrolet will make a $1,000 contribution to each university's general scholarship fund, Chevy, an American Revolution.
Well, Tom, just a preview, I think, for UCLA, it will be a defensive player. Don't you think?
Yep. The way they played has been outstanding. Here's Prince joining Walker in the backfield on 2nd down. Now Walker in motion. Quinn chased and sacked. That was Justin Hickman again, his 2nd sack of the game. Give him 9.5 now on the season.
And they were trying to get near Prince, number 25, right there on a wheel route against the linebacker. But Hickman saved what may have been a touchdown. So a big sack, not only the lost yardage, but maybe saved 6 points.
14.
Boy, they just keep going. The last 3 seasons of Justin Hickman had a good year in 2005, but just been sensational this year. Look at the tackles for losses as well. Those are different numbers, different statistics.
2 today. 5 wide receiver formation. 3rd and long. Have I said that today?
A lot.
Quinn chased but unloaded. Caught by Samardzija. And he keeps on churning close to the 5-yard line. With Brett Lockett holding on for dear life, it goes for 16 and then a flag.
I'll tell you, he's just a hoss to bring down. Jeff Samardzija. This will say, just kind of stays alive. Very good after the catch. The yards after the catch.
And it's going to come back. A hold against the Irish.
Offense, number 74. 10-yard penalty. Replay 3rd down.
Sam Young.
Well, I tell you, I don't blame him holding for some of these guys, number 74, because they are really coming hard. And number 17, they were double teaming Justin Hickman, which is probably a pretty good idea to do, Tom. And one of those guys held him. They called it on Sam Young. So UCLA's defense is going to keep them in most football games if they play like this the rest of the way. They have a stretch of playing with 3 top 20 teams in a month. Played Oregon last week, Notre Dame now, and Cal in a couple of weeks.
And they play Washington State next week, and then they'll go to Berkeley to face Cal. 3rd down and 23. Quinn has Grimes open. Grimes just setting down in front of the defense, in front of Werner, and makes the catch for 17 yards.
Now, ordinarily you'd say, hey, go kick a field goal, right? But you just never know with Charlie Weiss. Good pass protection. David Grimes, just kind of a deep comeback.
I'll make it 4th and 6.
And a good tackle again by Werner, forces a 4th and 6. It looks like the Irish are going to go for it.
Darius Walker returns to the game. 4th down and 6.
I don't know, Tom. I think, a lot of game left. I'd kick a field goal myself.
Charlie Weiss going to roll the dice here. They've converted all 3 of their previous 4th downs in this game. This one, though, is 4th and 6. Quinn, swing pass, Walker, a lot of greens. Darius Walker knocked that around, but he has the 1st down. McNeil knocks him out inside the 5. Gain of 9, and a 1st down as they have converted all 4 of their 4th down attempts today.
Yeah, and Darius Walker, we said, what a multi-threat as a runner and then as a receiver. And matched up that time with Lombard. They had one of those safety blitzes, so a defensive lineman's matched up with a linebacker, so good scouting, good execution, good play call, gets him the 1st down.
Charlie Weiss rolls the dice, and it comes up 7.
he goes to Vegas, I want to go with him.
As they have a 1st and goal at the 5. Walker. Not flat on his back that time by Taylor and Keys.
Christian Taylor, once again, the middle linebacker for UCLA, making a nice stop, as did the free safety Keys. Looked like Darius Walker had something out here in front of him. McConnell, yeah, good tackle, open field tackle by Dennis Keys. Had a couple of those today.
The Bruins, after missing 30 plus last week against Oregon, and missed only 5 today. Brady Quinn, who started this half hitting only one of his first 5 pass attempts, is 5 for 5 since. And on the 12th play of the drive, trying to convert a 2nd down and goal from the 6. And he's sacked. That's Bruce Davis.
Again, a good coverage downfield. Dennis Keys had Samardzija well covered, and Troy Brown had McKnight covered, and Brady Quinn just had to hold the ball. Yeah, this is the other defensive end, really splits 2 blockers, Morton and Young. And then the coverage downfield. See, here's the 2 guys. They're just covered. Nowhere to go.
4th sack of the day for the UCLA defense, and Charlie Weiss now has to call a 3rd down and goal from the 15. Pumps once. Quinn going in the end zone. Samardzija unable to get it. Well defended by Trey Brown and Dennis Keys.
Trey Brown.
And on 4th down, looks like the field goal unit out this time, Pat.
I think they will kick it this time. Kind of a pump and go, a slant and go to Jeff Samardzija. Terrific coverage by Trey Brown. Just kind of ran Samardzija right out of the end zone.
And then screened Samardzija from the football.
He got his head turned so they wouldn't call pass interference.
33-yard attempt. Brady Quinn disappointed in that outcome as the field goal unit comes on. 33-yard attempt, Joya. And Carl Joya kicks it dead center. Right down Broadway. It's good to make it a 1-point game. Once again, Notre Dame has to settle for 3. One of Charlie Weiss's pet peeves, not getting touchdowns and settling for field goals in the red zone. Our aerial coverage today brought to you by Goodyear Tires, featuring triple tread technology with 3 separate tread zones for peace of mind in any weather. Speaking of the weather, it's turning cool here late afternoon at Notre Dame as the clouds roll in. And Brady Quinn exceeded 10,000 yards passing today to join 31 others and a pretty elite group as you see the names scroll by.
I just saw Peyton Manning go by. Remember him.
You on this list?
Yeah. Well, if you count all my practice yards, yes. Ben Roethlisberger. Go Matt Leinart. Doug Flutie, there's a good name. Over 10,000.
But it's going to be bittersweet unless they can pull out the win. Burkhart's kickoff taken by McGee. Racing to the sideline. And again, going one-on-one in the open field, Leo Ferrine makes a nice tackle. And so Pat Cowan back on the field for the UCLA offense. They have not scored in this 3rd quarter with 1:38 left.
Well, you know, and for quarterbacks, you're tested every week, Tom, but these are the kind of moments, you know, a young quarterback, your team likes you, but they don't know enough about you in pressure situations. Well, you know, 1 point up, 3rd quarter coming to a close, needs to mount a nice drive.
Not a good start.
Not at all.
Marquis swamped by the defense. Brockington, number 52, down there on his back, was the first man to hit him, I think.
Brockington, and again, Trevor Laws and Derek Landry. Tough to run inside on those tackles. There's Trevor Laws, the high school wrestler, and Derek Landry, both guys inside.
Laws knows how to use that leverage.
He was 145-5 as a high school wrestler.
Michael Petrie, the Bruin fullback, injured on the play.
Boy, he's had a great year for them, too. 3-year starter. Had his best season. A lot of times you just don't notice fullbacks much, Tom, but boy, he leads the way in blocks, good receiver.
Made honorable mention all Pac-10 last season. El Medina High School in Anaheim, you saw his hometown, was a linebacker and a fullback there. Also played basketball, limping to the Bruins sideline. Well, tomorrow, only 5 races to go in the chase for the Nextel Cup. Get ready for NASCAR's Demolition Derby as all the stars swap paint at Martinsville, NASCAR's tightest track. Anything can happen. That's the Subway 500. Tomorrow, 12:30 Eastern, 9:30 Pacific, here on NBC. That's a false start against the Bruins. It'll be on Paulson.
Started the quarter with a drop. They ended with a penalty.
Number 86
Not good.
Offense. 5-yard penalty. Still second down.
Carl Durrell and his Bruins, though, have survived what Notre Dame's 2 general charges. The opening of the game, they survived it by playing good defense. In the third quarter, they survived Notre Dame, which has really outplayed and outscored its opponents this year in the third quarter.
This is the 4th possession this quarter for UCLA. They've run only 9 plays, gained just 12 yards. 2 punts and a turnover. And now in a hole, 2nd and 15. Cowan caught at the 40-yard line by Everett. And it'll be 16 yards and a first down for UCLA on a big conversion.
Thor throwing lightning bolts. I mean, he just kind of wound up and absolutely drilled this one to Marcus Everett again with some people in his face. Good route by Marcus Everett, kind of coming back to the ball so his quarterback had a good target to him.
30 seconds left, third quarter. Play action fake. Here's Cowan. He threw that one up for grabs, but nobody can grab it as it sails out of bounds. Brazil and Lambert, or Richardson it was, running after the football well out of bounds.
I think Pat Cowan does a smart thing here, too. If your guy's not going to catch it, make sure they don't. Good coverage by Mike Richardson, who, quietly has had a really solid season for the Irish. Mike Richardson as a tackler primarily, but plays their boundary corner. Had a big year.
Spoke to him from Warner Robins, Georgia, where his family settled. His mom, a retired lieutenant colonel in the Air Force.
He spent 21 years in the Air Force.
Cowan, across the middle, caught. That's his Gavin Ketchum. Gavin Ketchum's 2nd reception of the season. Maurice Crum had the coverage, 13 yards.
Jim Swoboda, the offensive coordinator, is called an aggressive game. Probably the most aggressive play calling UCLA has had all year, and this guy is delivering on those aggressive play calls. Just absolutely throwing perfect throws down the middle.
And that pass by Cowan will bring the third quarter to a close. Swoboda calling a good game today for the Bruins, who lead it as we come to the end of the third quarter. At the end of 3, it's a 1-point game. UCLA 14, Notre Dame 13. Back after these messages from your local NBC station. Today's game brought to you by Sirius Satellite Radio.
Here is Brady Quinn looking. Pump fakes. He rolls to the near side. Throws it. It's caught by Samardzija. Inside the 20. Inside the 10. He's going in. Notre Dame has scored.
The funny thing about that video, though, if you watch it, after Jeff scored his touchdown, the first person to greet Jeff was a good friend of mine by the name of Pat Kuntz. Pat Kuntz is a defensive tackle, mind you. He was the first guy on the field to greet him.
Back on the campus of the University of Notre Dame, a 1-point game as we start the fourth quarter. The playing of Tchaikovsky's 18-12 overture signaling the end of the third and start of the fourth. Today's game, UCLA and Notre Dame, a 1-point affair brought to you by Sirius Satellite Radio. First play of the fourth quarter, first down UCLA. Cowan chased from the pocket but finds his man. It's Moline with the reception. as Carl Durrell talks about returning to coach his alma mater.
I'm proud to be back. I'm happy to represent this school. I played for, we won a lot of championships with, and that's my goal, is to get our program back to where it should be.
And this would be a signature victory if they can pull it out here in South Bend. They have only a 1-point lead, and they have not fared well under Durrell against ranked teams. Cowan kind of short-armed that one just as his receiver fell down, intended for Moline again.
Pass intended.
Yeah, Carl Durrell, he was maybe the quietest 10-win season in the country last year. I mean, 10 wins, including a very impressive bowl win in the Sun Bowl against Northwestern. See Moline, number 42, who is going to be open. Maybe pick up the first down there. Just absolutely. He comes in because remember, Petrie was hurt. So you have a freshman now playing fullback who slipped on that play.
3rd down and 3. Cowan is sacked at the 50-yard line by Crum on the blitz.
Perfectly timed play by Maurice Crum. Maurice Crum right up the middle, number 40. Again, he absolutely got a jump on the snap count. The center, Chai, goes to his left, lead freeway right into Pat Cowan's face.
Samardzija is deep as Perez on 4th down punts. Samardzija will let it go. It reaches the end zone. Touchback. Well, a big play by Maurice Crum Jr. on the blitz on 3rd down. Forces the punt, and Notre Dame will take over. 14:09 just underway. 4th quarter. Notre Dame takes over, down 1. Good defensive dominated football game here. UCLA holding on to a 1-point lead over Notre Dame. Just underway in the 4th quarter as the Irish take the ball at their own 20. Quinn with the fake. Underneath, Walker. Against 3 Bruin defenders, he's taken down as the first man to hit him was Christian Taylor. Along with Trey Brown. Let's check with Lewis.
Hey, Tom, Notre Dame offensive line coach John Latino read his guys the riot act after their missed opportunity in the red zone last trip down the field. He told them that we can't go out there, roll the dice, and get first downs off of 4th down plays and then allow Brady Quinn to take the sack. He said you got to stay conscientious about containment as those UCLA defensive end try to get the pressure off the edge. Tom?
All right, Lewis. Grimes goes to the turf to make the catch to pick up the first down. A gain of 4 yards on the play. And the Irish first down.
The UCLA defensive ends have been eating up a lot of tackles the first half of the season. Hasn't been just been Notre Dame. Hickman and Davis.
Yep. Here's the hurry-up look again from the Irish. They used this at the end of the first half to have their best drive over 70 yards, though it ended in only a field goal. Again, they go out of the backfield to Walker, and he's trapped and taken for a loss on the play by Bruce Davis.
Walker on the pass.
Yeah, Bruce Davis is a pretty good story. He almost left UCLA. Actually went into Carl Durrell's office and said, "Hey, Coach, I'm transferring." A couple of his teammates ended up talking him into staying, and then Dwayne Walker, the defensive coordinator, comes and changes his position from linebacker to a defensive end and said, "Hey, just go chase." And boy, he's done that this season.
His dad played at UCLA and in the NFL. Quinn chased again. Has to get rid of him. Pressure on Brady Quinn.
How many times you said that, Tom? Pressure on Brady Quinn. That time, Kevin Brown.
And Justin Hickman was also in pursuit.
Hickman there. And then Brown at the end. Knocked down just about all day long. 10 hits, 8 knockdowns, and how about the 4 sacks? Brady Quinn just keeps getting up and keeps chucking it.
So now, 3rd down and 14. Quinn has passed for 182 yards today and a touchdown, but has spent much of the game dodging the UCLA rush.
And Tom, that's a three-man pass rush. 3 guys rush, 5 guys blocking, and Hickman still gets there. Yikes.
5th sack of the day for the UCLA defense, and 3 of them for Justin Hickman.
There he is again. See, just 2 ends and 1 nose tackle. They collapse the pocket, and absolutely nowhere for Brady Quinn to get rid of the ball.
So punt formation for Jeff Price. Graves runs up on it, fields it at the 40. Graves with a nice return. 15 yards on the return, tackled by David Bruton after the punt covered 35, but 15 on the return, and then a flag.
Flag down over the far sideline.
Tackle by Luton. David Bruton on the tackle.
It'll be a personal foul against the Bruins.
Boy, is that a critical foul for the Bruins.
They were on to have the ball.
Yeah, almost adjusted
Dead ball,
Medlock field goal
personal
range.
foul. Number 11 of the return team. 15-yard penalty from the end of the run. First down, UCLA.
Dennis Keys, the personal foul.
Well, number 11, left part of the screen here. Just a late push.
Yeah, that was not smart. It cost the Bruins. Michael Petrie, the fullback for the Bruins, who was injured earlier, is back on the field here as the Bruins take over. Petrie, the fullback in the eye, Marquis, the tailback. And Cowan to the air. Broken up. That was Crum in coverage. The linebacker deflected the pass incomplete.
That's what we've seen from Maurice Crum the last 2 series. One was a blitz, sacked Pat Cowan on a big 3rd down play. This time terrific coverage by Maurice Crum.
Covering the tight end Paulson and bats it away.
Yeah, Maurice Crum can really move. Plays their middle linebacker position. Only 222 pounds, but very good on his feet.
It's Taylor, Junior Taylor, ridden down by Ndukwe and Lambert, but not until he scampered for 23 yards.
Yeah, Jim Swoboda, the offensive coordinator, saying we were waiting to have a breakout game in the passing game. Today, it has been it for the Bruins. 3rd big pass play for the Bruins. They had two wide receivers on the left side. On the right side is Junior Taylor. Just an easy slant route, easy completion for UCLA.
36-yard line of the Irish. 3rd reception of the day for Junior Taylor. It was a big one. And UCLA is driving. Cowan, sacked. Landry, after Abby Amiri, slowed him down.
Yeah, you know, Abby Amiri with the help, but then Landry finishes him off.
Loss of 8.
You know, Pat Cowan's been able to shake a few of these off. Watch Victor Abiamiri try to block him. Right around the corner. He shook him, but could not shake Derek Landry. So the 1-2 punch of Abiamiri and Landry gets the sack.
2nd sack for the Irish makes it 2nd and 18. Blitz comes. Zivakowski hitting as he released, and it's incomplete.
Good timing on the blitz by Tommy Zivakowski. Number 9 from the top of the screen. Gets it right around Sutherland. Just too quick for him. Right off the edge. Cowan has no chance to step in the throw or no chance of completing.
Irish defensive coordinator Rick Minter turning up the heat on Patrick Cowan.
Remember, they need to get to maybe the 35-yard line to get their field goal kicker in range.
Cowan hangs it up. Intended for Junior Taylor, and it draws a flag on Lambert.
You know, a couple of things can happen when you throw it up, Tom. Your receiver can go up and make a catch, or you can throw it up, hope for a pass interference, and that's what UCLA gets there. Terrell Lambert, who's played brilliantly the last couple of weeks, gets called for the pass interference penalty. thought he had his head turned, quite honestly, and generally they're not going to call those, right?
Pass interference, defense number 20. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
Well, it looks to me like the two of them are hand fighting. It was just
incidental.
Yeah. It was equal way, and then
Taylor actually had a hold of him.
Yeah. So first down, 29-yard line. Marquis trapped by Laws.
Well, how about the game Trevor Laws has had inside? You always talk about defensive backs and safeties and defensive ends and such, but the interior guys are really responsible for shutting off the inside. The inside runs, and Trevor Laws and Derek Landry have done it today. Well, I'll tell you, UCLA has to manage this situation. They're already in Justin Medlock's range as a field goal kicker, generally, right? You just can't afford another sack, Tom.
Let's see if Notre Dame comes after Callan. Here comes the blitz. Callan hit as he releases and finds his receiver, Brazil.
In his second career start, how well has Pat Gowan played? Boy, he knew it, knew the blitz was coming, knew he was going to take a shot. And when you back out, you're generally going to throw the ball to your left. Took a late shot there by Tom Zibikowski. So he's backing out rather than turning, getting away from the rush. But his strong arm and his 6'5" height enabled him to get rid of that ball. If he's 6'2", I don't think he gets rid of that one.
And he found his target, which is even more amazing. Just getting rid of it and then having it on target is Olsen, the quarterback, injured on the sideline, been rallying his troops.
He may have to use his last timeout. He just did. Had to use his last timeout of the game.
Looked like the play was late coming in. Only 1 second on the play clock, so they spend their final timeout of the half.
And that could be costly.
But UCLA threatening, already up 1. For Carl Durrell and UCLA, this would be a signature win for Charlie Weiss and the Irish. A loss would end any remote chance of a national championship and probably even a BCS bowl. A lot hangs in the balance. That'll be a false start against UCLA. The left tackle raising up out of his stance, Noah Sutherland.
Dead ball, false start. Number 74, offense. 5-yard penalty, still third down.
Well, Tom, going into the loudest part of the stadium, right into the student section. Remember, a quarterback who struggled with his voice all week. But a poor penalty there by Noah Sutherland.
They pick it up, and Callan finds his receiver on the 10-yard line. It's Marcus Everett. It's a gain of 16 and a UCLA first down.
A good blitz pickup by the Bruins allowed Pat Cowan to find Marcus Everett. Good block by Tavaga, the right guard, and then a perfectly thrown by Cowan. But if he didn't get that early protection in the blitz, he didn't have a chance to step and deliver. And boy, did he deliver.
First and 10 at the 11-yard line. Play action fake for the end zone. Oh, dangerous pass.
I thought Brazil was held on that one.
Goes incomplete.
And they felt, Carl Durrell was saying to us yesterday, he felt they had to be more aggressive with their play calls inside the 20, and this was one of them. Mike Richardson held him. Mike Richardson grabbed him, got away with it.
Got to the 10-yard line before Crum and Ndukwe took him down. And Ndukwe lost his helmet in the process.
A big third down, actually, for both of these teams. But I like Pat Cowan outside the pocket. I mean, he, against Arizona in particular, he was awfully good when they put him on a rollout. Really accurate, even though he's on the move.
Third down. Cowan out of the backfield, caught by Marquis. Nowhere to go as he slammed to the turf. Richardson really put a hit on him, and then Ndukwe came to finish him off.
Boy, and Chris Marquis lucky he held on to the ball.
So the Notre Dame defense stiffens and forces a field goal try after this play.
You watch Brockington first, slows him down, then Richardson, then Ndukwe. 3 blue jerseys.
Here's Medlock. Had his string of 14 in a row broken earlier today. This one covers 29 yards. And money, Justin Medlock, dead center to put UCLA up by 4. You're watching Notre Dame football presented by Sirius Satellite Radio. Don't forget, once today's game ends, visit NBCSports.com for the live Vonage Notre Dame postgame report. You can hear Charlie Weiss at his press conference discuss today's game. You can hear Carl Durrell as well. That's all coming up on the Vonage Notre Dame postgame report at NBCSports.com. Medlock ready to kick it off to Weston Grimes. Could be headed for a thrilling finish here with 7:19 left and a 4-point game. Medlock who just hit the field goal to put the Bruins up by 4.
Now, he hasn't kicked the ball off particularly well. As good as a field goal kicker he is. So there's an opportunity for a Notre Dame return here.
Actually, the last couple of kickoffs have reached the end zone 1 and 2 yards deep, and Grimes has elected to come out and hasn't made the 20 either time.
This one is deep.
Yeah, very deep. He'll take a knee, Grimes. And so facing a defense that has been stout today.
Boy, they've stuffed the run, caused turnovers. And in the passing game, they have really been good. Good play by Taylor as a middle linebacker, but I think this is where they've really distinguished themselves, getting in Brady Quinn's face and sacking him. That's 1 of 5 sacks on Brady Quinn. And that's the guy that's been leading the way.
And that defense lines up now at the Notre Dame 20 with the Irish take over, trailing by 4. Clock under 7 minutes. Quinn chased again. He had a lot of time. The coverage was good. He couldn't find anybody to throw it to. And then Moline nearly was on him. So
yeah, Chase Moline right over Ryan Harris. Around Santucci, then through Harris. Chase Moline, one of 3 Molines. Get a whole bunch of Molines on this Bruin team.
4 sets of brothers on the Bruin team. There's the kind of day Quinn has had. He needs to have a long touchdown drive here for the Irish to stay alive. Samardzija short of the first down. It's going to bring up 3rd.
Like Taylor and Brown. The gain is 8.
Charlie Weiss just keeps calling plays. And he gets his plays in so quickly. You never see the quarterback have to use or burn a timeout because he didn't have enough time on the clock.
No huddle. Deflected incomplete. Nice defensive play. That time made by Rodney Van on McKnight. And another hit on Brady Quinn.
And here comes the punt team. They're going to leave it up to Notre Dame's defense. Charlie Weiss is. Remember, they had a fake punt against, what was that, Penn State for 43 yards.
Be dangerous here, though, wouldn't it?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, you punt it away and hopefully you play good defense.
And Dennis Keys, the deep man. Price. Keys calls for a fair catch. Safely makes it at the 27-yard line. So the Irish going to call on their defense against Cowan and the Bruin offense, hoping to play a little field position here and get the best of it. And the clock starting to become a factor now, showing 6:05.
And Tom, what's a tendency? You kind of go into a shell here, right? Jim Swoboda has called a very aggressive game today for Pat Cowan, and he's delivered for the most part. I think you need to continue to deliver the ball down the field. He's been particularly accurate in the middle of the field.
Marquis got a yard. Maurice Crum collapsed him.
Marquis, tackled by Crum.
Clock rolls toward 5.5 minutes.
Pat Cowan, you know, the 25-second clock just underway. Should snap it with about 2 seconds left. Try to eat as much clock as he possibly can.
Petrie and Moline in the I formation. Moline.
Just drilled by Zbikowski.
Looked like he had a little seam there too for a moment before Zbikowski knocked him flat.
And that seam was closed by number 9. Watch Zbikowski, number 9, just come right into the hole and make the stop. Mike Richardson got a piece of it as well.
Under 5 minutes. Third down.
Long time to get this play in. You have no timeouts remaining either. Absolute confusion right now.
Play clock at 10. No timeouts. 5 on the play clock. 1 to snap it. Got it off. Cowan stumbled, recovers, and throws it complete, but short of the first down.
That was not a clean play.
No.
From beginning to end.
From the play call to the catch by Everett.
And really just, you know, kind of an opportunity slipped through their hands to try to use a lot of clock so they go 3 and out. And they shouldn't snap this ball. 20 seconds left on the play clock. Should wait to snap it.
George West will return punts. He was an excellent punt returner, kick returner in high school. Perez sends it his way. Fair catch called and taken at the 27-yard line, where the Irish offense and Brady Quinn, well, Brady Quinn, the all-time leading passer in Notre Dame history, hoping for one of those comebacks for the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. This is the situation in which legends are made, and Brady Quinn, who has broken so many records, who today passed 10,000 yards career passing, only the 32nd quarterback in football history to have done it in major college football. And here he is now with the game on the line, starting from his own 28. Quinn's pass caught by Samardzija, trying to dance away, and does, to the 45-yard line. First down, Notre Dame, gain of 16.
Has the feeling of the Michigan State game to me, Tom. You just give Notre Dame too many chances. Sooner or later, Brady Quinn is going to make it pay.
No huddle offense.
I think they'll use this, they consider this their last series and then use it a 4 down, so they have to.
Caught by Grimes at the sideline. Stops the clock with 3:22. Gain of 9.
You know, you can play well in the first 3 quarters, Tom, but as you said, hey, the fourth quarter when it really counts, look at Brady Quinn's numbers the fourth quarter this season. 5 touchdowns and just the 1 interception, 400 yards.
That's what he's looking for on this drive. Samardzija in the slot to the top of the screen. McKnight wide that side. Grimes to the bottom. Hand it to Walker. Darius Walker.
Did not get the first.
Did not get the first down, and clock continues to roll. Chase Moline made a crucial tackle for UCLA. David Grimes, a career-high 6 catches today. We're going to need somebody to make a clutch play here. 3rd down and 1. Less than 3 minutes to play. Sneak by Brady Quinn, who does it again. Clock will stop momentarily to reset the chains.
Yeah. Look for a clutch play. Who would he give it to? The quarterback, Brady Quinn. He's been clutch for, 2.5 years.
Yep. 44-yard line, UCLA. Charlie Weiss and the Irish trying to rally. Down by 4. Clock shows 2:48. Irish all on their feet, watching what would be the game-deciding drive, perhaps. Brady Quinn got rid of it, just intended for Walker, and just narrowly avoided another sack.
Boy, he's going to be in the whirlpool for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. These are the kind of games that are bad for traffic time. Everybody stays to the very, very end. And how about Bruce Davis again?
Yep.
And Harwell from the inside.
That defense is pretty well shredded, the Notre Dame offensive line today. 2:37 on the clock. Little touch pass, it's dropped by Carlson.
You see a lot of slants to the wide receivers. That time, John Carlson, a tight end, split out kind of in a slot. They tried to throw the slant. It looked like he wasn't quite ready for it.
3rd down and 10.
They got 3 down linemen again. Last time the 3-man rush, they had a sack. 3-man rush again.
Quinn looking. Finding and out of bounds Grimes after making the catch short of the first down.
He's 2 yards short of the first.
Boy, he had room to get the first 2. You've got to know where the marker is. Giving yourself enough room to come back for the football and still have the first. So here's the game. 4th down and a yard. They've hit all 4 of their previous 4th down conversions, and Brady Quinn, I think for the first time, he has been stopped. They went to the well once too often, and UCLA was ready for it.
Well, Chase Moline came in late, and I think he was a part of that stop. And as was Christian Taylor, the middle linebacker. Moline and Taylor.
Ball clearly short. They will measure anyway.
Well, this is what, a BCS Bowl measurement, perhaps.
Yep. What a victory it would be for the young Bruins.
And remember, Notre Dame still has all 3 of their timeouts remaining.
Right. It is short. UCLA takes over.
So they need to grind out a few first downs. Again, Notre Dame, all 3 timeouts, can use it, stop the clock, and perhaps force a punt if UCLA gets too conservative. Moline and Brown.
First time Brady Quinn had been stopped on a 4th down sneak.
Well, they just used their first one. That's that new rule, right?
Yep.
They're going to start the clock when Notre Dame used their first timeout.
So on change of possession, the clock would have started. Notre Dame calls the timeout to prevent that.
Boy, this Notre Dame and this UCLA run defense, Notre Dame has run 35 times for 41 yards, Tom. They're the same guys that were 116th last year in run defense. I think coaches can get it turned around. Charlie Weiss has done it here, and Carl Durrell with 10 wins last year, and then a new defensive coordinator has changed the attitude.
Well, what hangs in the balance for Notre Dame? Any remote chance they might have had of playing for the national championship and a BCS Bowl. Right now they're in the 8th spot in the BCS standings, which guarantees them a BCS Bowl berth. But a loss today to UCLA will drop them way down and probably end any chance they have of playing in a BCS Bowl. I mean, stranger things have happened, but...
Yeah, indeed. We'll flip it over here. Pat Cowan, you're the quarterback in the huddle now. You're saying, hey, guys, stay in bounds, secure the ball. Love to pick up a first down, but just make sure you secure the ball and stay in bounds and force Notre Dame to use one of their 2 remaining timeouts. Carl Durrell looking for a signature win. 11 guys up at the line of scrimmage.
Markey holding on to the football. Knocked down at the 35-yard line, right at the line of scrimmage by Mike Richardson. Timeout Notre Dame.
You see all 11 blue jerseys crowding the line of scrimmage.
So the Irish take their second timeout. They'll have one left.
Yeah, look at that. Look at all these guys. Oh, excuse me. All 11.
There you go.
Look, I ran out of numbers, but all 11 guys right up at their line of scrimmage. I mean, if you want to take a shot, that's the time to do it. My telestrator only goes up to 9. I just found out.
Brady Quinn, all he can do is watch at this point. And same for Charlie Weiss. Well, it was 1974. UCLA had won 88 straight basketball games, the record. They came to South Bend, and the Irish pulled off the upset, beating the UCLA Bruins, Bill Walton and company. But today, the Bruins could likely turn the tables on the Irish if they can hold on for the final 2:15.
Again, why not give Pat Cowan a chance on a little roll to his right? Ball's in the left hash. He's a right-handed quarterback. He's a good runner. You know, maybe you hit the fullback of the flat if he's open. Otherwise, Pat Cowan runs, stays in bounds.
I hand it to Markey. So does Cowan. And Markey spins, forces Notre Dame to use its final timeout. Zibikowski made the tackle. So the final timeout in the books now. Notre Dame has no timeouts remaining. UCLA leading by 4, and the clock showing 2 minutes and 9 seconds.
Well, Jim Sabota, as we said, aggressive play calling today. I think they need to air it out here again. Just can't give Notre Dame another opportunity, right? Marcus Everett has had a nice day for the Bruins. 6 catches, 102 yards, and a touchdown. Jim Coletto on the right of the screen there, offensive line coach, calling his talk to his team.
What a nice return to Notre Dame Stadium it would be for Jim Coletto. He played here at Notre Dame Stadium for the UCLA Bruins as a fullback linebacker back in 1964, the last time these two teams met. And Coletto told us yesterday that I was running for a touchdown down that sideline right over there when Alan Page knocked me out of bounds.
Yeah, Alan Page in 1964 knocked a lot of guys out of bounds. As Jim Coletto coached here at Notre Dame for a couple of years, also head coach at Purdue.
Yep, assistant head coach now with the Bruins and offensive line coach. It would be sweet for him. On third down, Markey, nowhere to go, ridden down.
Just
Travis Thomas met him in the backfield, and so did Derek Landry.
Tom, I don't like the call. Just, you know, they're giving Notre Dame another chance.
They still have not. Now they're marking the ball ready for play. The play clock starts.
And Travis Thomas there to sniff that play out.
Brady Quinn hoping for another chance. The freshman George West back to receive the punt by Perez. Letting the play clock run down.
They're going to call it.
Take the penalty. 5-yard delay of game penalty, but they run the play clock down, or the game clock down to 1:21.
It's a good use of 5 yards, I think.
Yeah.
5-yard penalty, 4th down. Clock will start on the snap.
High snap, Perez hauls it down. And West has a beat on it. Takes it, got a block. Dancing across the 35 to the 37-yard line. Irish quickly out on the field.
Is there a penalty down here in the
way
far?
back upfield, way back upfield. Flag is down.
See, if I'm reading his lips, I thought he said holding. Oh, against the Irish.
Coach Weiss saying that way. You pointed the wrong way.
Yeah, well, you're talking to the defensive captain for UCLA.
Coach Durrell saying, nope, you had it right.
And he's saying, hey, in the first down.
Looks like they're giving UCLA the option. Oh, well. Still no signal of what the penalty might be.
Holding number 60 of the return team. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Replay 4th down.
So not a first down. They'll have to punt again. Casey Cullen is called for the hold.
Isn't that interesting, though? Remember, they took the 5-yard penalty. Had they not taken the 5-yard penalty, that would have given them first.
It did enable them to burn some more clock, which is down to 1:10. Perez had a high snap on the last attempt that he was able to pull down. West hopes for a chance.
He returned 4 punts in high school for touchdowns.
That was just a year ago when he was a high school player. Perez gets the snap. And this is a towering boot over the head and into the end zone. Over the head of West into the end zone for a touchback. So it all falls on the shoulders of Brady Quinn. He does get one more chance. Trying to pull it out for the Irish.
And you know, Tom, we were talking to Darius Walker yesterday about Brady Quinn in situations like this. He says he has such command of the huddle. You look into his eyes and you think things are going to be all right.
Notre Dame's offense today, so productive at times. They've had 13 possessions and scored only 13 points. They need a touchdown to win the game. Brady Quinn rolling. Delivering. Caught and then out of bounds, Samardzija.
Well, not a bad play getting Brady Quinn out of the pocket because Bruce Davis, the defensive end for UCLA, was coming in from the backside. Wow.
Went for 18.
Making a gain of 21 yards.
Just get away from the rush. And a perfect throw to Samardzija.
55 seconds. Irish 41. Quinn caught. David Grimes having a career day. Goes to the turf to pick it up for 14. Clock stops while they reset the chains. Irish up and ready to go.
And perfect protection for Brady Quinn. You know, he has been under duress. The offensive line has been under duress, but that time, great protection.
Bruin, 45.
Hickman up here. Triple team.
Quinn pumps once. Buys some time and finds Samardzija. Samardzija with a cutback. 5. Touchdown! Samardzija. Joya's extra point is good. 27 seconds. And Brady Quinn's legend continues at Notre Dame.
Well, they've been throttling Jeff Samardzija most of the game. The pump by Quinn because of good coverage, and then the strength of Samardzija, and the balance, and the touchdown.
Wow.
You know, Tom, I just think UCLA got way too conservative in that last series of theirs. And remember, with 27 seconds, they burned or used all 3 of their timeouts early in this half. But Brady Quinn, a defining moment for him. And Jeff Samardzija, the All-American wide receiver.
80 yards in 3 plays and 35 seconds. The pump, the pass, and Samardzija does the rest. Now Burkhardt to kick off. Clock starts when he hits the ball. McGee.
Should have taken that one out.
Going to bring it out.
Yeah, he's going to use a lot of clock, too.
Knocked out of bounds by Lambert. And the clock shows 17 seconds.
Well, if it just takes a knee back there, they probably have, another 4 or 5 seconds. So no timeouts remaining.
And the one that ties the record, or maybe the one he remembers longest.
Clock is gone.
Cowan's gone. Derek Landry. Abby Amiri. That's it. One of those wake up the echoes victories for the Irish today. Let's go to Lewis.
All right, thanks a lot. Coach, will you describe what we just witnessed?
A little bit of luck. Thank God we had our timeouts left there at the end of the game after they stopped us on the 4th down play. I thought we did a good job of utilizing those timeouts, but then the players made the plays. Jeff takes it to the house. I mean, we're just very fortunate to get out of here with a win today.
For everybody that's not in this stadium, describe what this means, what this experience is like as a Notre Dame coach to pull off a last-second win like this.
Well, I'll tell you what, I went to Quinn before the strike. I said, "You got one in you, kid?" And he goes, "I always got one in me." So, kudos to Quinn.
And the receivers were almost shut out today. They didn't play very well, but how does Samardzija come up with that? Take me through the sequence of plays there at the end.
Well, it's a whole different mentality there at the end of the game when there's no timeouts left. And you're getting into, more of a, I'm not saying prevent, but a little different coverage scheme. Give credit to UCLA because they really did a nice job in coverage here today.
And finally, do you think your season may have been saved here because you were on the verge of maybe losing a lot?
Yeah, that's the second time that's happened this year. That happened in Michigan State. These kids don't quit, so you got to give them credit for that.
All right, Coach, thanks for your time. Tom?
All right, Lewis. The band lining up. The players go to the student section, salute them with the raised golden domes for the playing of the victory march in the alma mater. Our Chevrolet players of the game, Hickman of UCLA and Samardzija, who scored the winning touchdown for Notre Dame. In recognition of their determination and outstanding play, Chevrolet will make a $1,000 contribution to each university's general scholarship fund. Chevy, an American revolution. Rarely has the victory march sounded sweeter. With 1:02 left, Notre Dame needing a touchdown took over at its own 20, trailing by 4 in 3 plays. They get the game winner, Quinn to Samardzija. The Notre Dame alma mater. Samardzija. It was indeed a game of legends. With a minute 2 left, they took over, scored the winning touchdown. 20-17 is the final score. Today's game brought to you by Sirius Satellite Radio. Back in 30 seconds now to hear from Coach Weiss and all the heroes of the game as we recap the Notre Dame victory on the Vonage Notre Dame post-game report.
Here is Brady Quinn looking. Pump fakes. He rolls to the near side. Throws it. It's caught by Samardzija. Inside the 20. Inside the 10. He's going in. Notre Dame has scored.
The funny thing about that video, though, if you watch it, after Jeff scored his touchdown, the first person to greet Jeff was a good friend of mine by the name of Pat Kuntz. Pat Kuntz is a defensive tackle, mind you. He was the first guy on the field to greet him.